Chapter 174. In fact, this kind of conversation was not only between Qin Muyang and Qin Fei, but also between Deputy Mayor Lu Jianghe and Lu Liang, as well as the major families of Tianshui City. After all, no one was clearer about the terror of the giant company than these old foxes. The more they understood the power of the giant company, the more cowardly they became. Several years ago, the awe of flowing fire city's Huang family, their blood, their anguished wails, they were all still vivid in their minds. Who dared to be impudent? Most probably, this was also the giant company killing the chicken to scare the monkey. They wanted to let the world know that they weren't a sleeping lion. If anyone dared to touch their bottom line, they would have to pay the price of blood. However, at this time, Xiaoping was in a good mood as he returned home. He didn't pay any attention to the storm that was brewing in Tianshui City. Beep, as soon as he returned to his bedroom, he immediately received a video call request from director Wang Dachui. What is it? Xiaoping clicked on the request, and Fatty Wang Dachui's virtual projection immediately appeared in front of him. The other party was smiling, looking extremely wretched. Boss, Wang Dachui said excitedly, I finished shooting and editing the 10 TV series that you ordered me to shoot. Now I'm just waiting to upload them to the video website. So fast? Xiaoping was stunned. He remembered that it had only been a little more than 2 weeks since Dachui Wang had planned to shoot the TV series. But 10 episodes of the TV series were shot so quickly. Not that fast. Wang Dachui said humbly, that's because I haven't filmed for a long time, so my movements are rusty. If it was the me from 5 years ago, half of that time would be enough. This is a piece of cake. The corner of Xiaoping's mouth twitched when he saw this guy blowing his own trumpet. Shooting 10 episodes of a TV series in 10 days was already considered shoddy, but this guy only needed half the time. How did he do it? Is he trying to fool me? He looked at Wang Dachui suspiciously. Boss, don't worry. As if reading Xiaoping's mind, Wang Dachui patted his chest and said confidently, this TV series is the culmination of my many years of confidence. It can be said to be the pinnacle of my artistic career. Once it's uploaded on a video website, it'll immediately become a trend. You'll earn so much that you won't even want it. We're just short of publicity now. He looked at Xiaoping eagerly. Publicity? How do you want to advertise it? Xiaoping also knew that if there was no publicity, no matter how outstanding the TV series was, it would not be known by people. It could be said that publicity was also a part of the film and television industry, and it was impossible to get rid of it. I've already thought of a series of publicity methods. I guarantee that it will be an instant hit. Wang Dachui was full of confidence. By the way, this is actually my plan. He intended to launch into a long speech. However, Xiaoping immediately stopped him and said, forget it. Don't explain this to me. You can solve it yourself. I just want to see the results. He had no interest in listening to Wang Dachui spout nonsense. In that case, leave the promotional activities of the TV series to me. Wang Dachui rolled his eyes and said. Xiaoping nodded. Okay, I'll leave everything to you. Thank you, boss. I will definitely not let you down. After getting approval, Wang Dachui said excitedly, please wait and see. I'll definitely make this TV series popular. With that, he hung up the phone with a snap. They actually finished filming so quickly. I wonder if this TV series will be popular? But forget it. Whether it succeeds or fails, it's just 5 million federal coins. Xiaoping didn't care. He had earned 400 million federal coins from this fighting competition alone. He didn't care about the money he earned from the TV series. However, it wasn't that he didn't care. After all, no one would dislike having more money. A week later, it will be the trial of the giant company. I must pass this trial. Xiaoping clenched his fists. He knew that the reason why the big families in Tianshui City bowed to him and forced the children of those families was because of the giant company. If he failed this trial, he wouldn't be able to join the giant company. The consequences would be unimaginable. However, he was also very confident that it was impossible for him to fail. The trial is in a week. I can take advantage of this time to try to break through to the martial warrior realm. This way, I will have a greater chance of passing the trial. Xiaoping clenched his fists. He sat cross-legged on his bed and began to cultivate, digesting and absorbing the energy in his body, constantly improving his cultivation. The night passed quickly. Xiaoping got up from his bed and opened his eyes. He felt that after a night of cultivation, the true qi in his body had also strengthened a little. In a few days, he would be able to reach the peak of the 9th heavenly layer. At that time, he might be able to try to break through to the martial warrior realm. Well, let's go to school. Xiaoping looked out the window. The sun had already risen high, and it was not far from school. He brushed his teeth and washed his face. After eating breakfast, he walked towards school. However, when Xiaoping arrived at school, he found that he had become a giant panda. Along the way, many people pointed at him and seemed to be very curious. However, none of them dared to approach him. They were all pointing and whispering. I won the championship of the fighting competition. It seems that I have become a celebrity in school. Xiaoping touched his chin, but he didn't care and continued to walk towards his class. Xiaoping. However, as soon as he arrived at school, a classmate greeted Xiaoping and looked at him with a strange expression. I heard that you wrote a novel and it has been adapted into a TV series. What? Hearing this, Xiaoping blinked his eyes. How do you know about this? Although this was the case, he had never told his classmates about it. Where did this guy learn about it? How do you know? It's all in the news on the internet. Everyone in the class knows about it. The classmate said naturally, but I didn't expect that Xiaoping's novel would be like that. Bold and avant-garde, too mature. When the other students heard these words, they all had strange expressions. Especially some female students, all of their pretty faces were red, and they didn't dare to look at Xiaoping with their eyes wide open. It seemed that they had also read Xiaoping's novels. It's all in the news on the internet. What the hell is going on? Xiaoping was stunned. Why didn't he know about this kind of thing? The fact that he wrote novels was now known to everyone. Thinking of this, he immediately returned to his seat, took out his mobile phone, and immediately went on the internet. Chapter 175. Penguin News Headlines. Revealing the true identity of the phenomenal novel teacher by Rong. Pig News Headlines. Is the fighting tournament champion turning to writing novels a progress or regression for society? Daily Headlines. Shocking. The future superstar of erotic novels is a high school student? National Observation News Headlines. Only 18 years old. The rise of a new generation of erotic novel masters? Xiaoping suddenly saw such a sensational title on the web page. He clicked in and took a look. Sure enough, he saw the news about his true identity, and even the details of his school and class were written very clearly. My identity has been exposed? What's going on? Xiaoping was also a little confused. He remembered that the identity of his teacher by Rong as a novel author should be very secretive. Why did everyone know about it when he woke up early in the morning? Because of such news, the netizens of the entire internet and major forums were boiling. Almost all the readers who had read the novel spoke online one by one. Especially under the comment area of his teacher by Rong's novel, posts appeared one after another. Unbelievable, the author of the novel Teacher by Rong, Xiaoping, is actually only an 18-year-old high school student. I thought the author would be at least 30 or 40 years old. Otherwise, how could his writing be so sophisticated? What the hell, he just reached adulthood. At this age, I only watched movies on the internet and bragged, but he has become a master of erotic novels. And this guy is also the champion of the Tianshui City High School fighting tournament. He is simply a winner in life and has a promising future. The gap between people is too big. I can't live anymore. Watching such news all day long is too stimulating for the heart. Many readers were shocked by the news. No matter how they imagined, they couldn't imagine that the author of this novel was only 18 years old. After all, people at this age were just studying, and even preparing for the college entrance examination. How could they write an outstanding erotic novel? Everyone, don't be deceived. This bastard Xiaoping is a beast. Although he is indeed the champion of the fighting tournament and wrote a master-level work, his character is not good. He is a beast and everyone has the right to punish him. A netizen who claimed to be Xiaoping's schoolmate immediately posted such a post, lashing out loudly, and his words were full of hatred. Yes, I agree with the one above. I live next door to this Xiaoping. Ever since I was young, this fellow has not been a good person. He often bullies the little girl next door and steals her lollipops. He doesn't even help an old lady cross the road. When people ask him for directions, that bastard often gives them the wrong directions, causing them to go around in circles and waste a few hours. He's shameless to the extreme. He started picking up girls at the age of 9. At the age of 12, he brought girls to the hotel. At the age of 15, he started having an affair with someone's wife. He was almost caught by her husband. He even jumped out of a 9th-floor toilet window naked. It became the local news. That's right. When he was 18, that bastard became even more outrageous. Not only did he have a dozen girlfriends under his feet, but he also got a dozen high school girls pregnant. Even the campus belle of the major schools fell victim to him. The girls wanted an abortion, but he didn't give them money. He's simply a scumbag. He's a beast. To be able to write such an article, it's not because of his outstanding talent. I dare to guess that he simply adapted it from his own experience. It's all biographies. According to the above stories, I guarantee that this bastard can be sent to prison for a few years. To be honest, I'm not afraid of being laughed at. I'm the family of one of the victims. We asked this bastard for compensation, but that bastard actually took out a black notebook and searched one by one. After searching for a long time, he finally found my daughter's name. I looked at it. There are at least dozens of victims' names. If he's not a beast, who is? One by one, netizens who claim to be very familiar with Xiaoping posted on the internet, loudly lashing at Xiaoping. Their voices were harsh, and all of them were crying bitterly. No one knew how much they hated Xiaoping. They simply wanted to skin him and pull out his tendons. Seeing the comments of these people who claimed to be close to Xiaoping, many netizens suddenly burst into an uproar. Holy shit, I was wondering how an 18-year-old high school student could write such an experienced article. Turns out that his emotional experience is so rich. It's too amazing. Even people in their 30s or 40s probably don't have such experience. This Xiaoping is too amazing. He's only 18 years old and he's already so amazing. What will happen when he's in his 30s or 40s? Bastard, he's only 15 years old and he's already having an affair with someone else's wife. Is he still human? I'm 30 years old now and I'm still a virgin. Other than my mother, I've never held any other girl's hand. This is too much. This Xiaoping is definitely a scumbag to the extreme. It's already too much for him to have a girlfriend, but he has more than 10. He even has so many that he needs a notebook to record them. Otherwise, he'll forget about them. It's because there are too many playboys like this that so many people don't believe in love. Love my ass. He's a super stud. Do you know what a stud is? It's constantly copulating and doing shameless things all day long. What's going on with those girls? They clearly know that this bastard Xiaoping is a scumbag. But why are they all willing to fall into his hands? This is too unreasonable. Didn't you hear that this guy is the champion of the fighting competition? His grades are excellent and he's also a little handsome. His family might even have some money. With just a little sweet talk, who knows how many girls have fallen into his hands? No wonder his pen name is Black-Hearted Wolf. He's just like his name, his heart is black. He's also a pervert. He lives up to his name. The main character of this novel is a female teacher. Based on this guy's methods, could it be that even the female teachers in the school have fallen into his hands? Beast, this bastard doesn't even let the teachers off. Is he still human? After a long time, the school's discipline has completely disappeared. It's in imminent danger. Many readers were commenting. Each and every one of them were shocked by the author's love experience. After all, they had never seen such a scumbag to the extreme before. Some people were even more envious and jealous. He was only a high school student and already knew how to play with women. Who knew how many high school girls had fallen into this bastard's hands? This. Xiaoping looked at the news on the internet and the countless netizens' comments. He felt that the rumors were really too scary. Just a few fake news stories were spread all over the internet, and there was no way to refute them. However, how exactly did his identity get leaked? Other than the website, his parents, and Zhang Yaru, not many people knew. Chapter 176. Thinking of this, Xiaoping immediately picked up his mobile phone and called director Wang Dachui. When the phone was connected, he immediately said, "Wang Dachui, Tell me what the hell is going on. Did you make the news on the internet? Boss, yes, it was me. Wang Dachui was proud. I dealt with those online news media a little and turned in a few articles. I didn't expect them to be the headlines of the website. The effect is very good. When our video goes online, it will definitely be a big hit, and the click rate will rise. Good my ass. The corner of Xiaoping's mouth twitched. The publicity effect was good, but he was in a bit of trouble. If the identity of the author was exposed, he didn't know how much trouble it would cause. At this time, the system suddenly said, "Congratulations to the host, you have gained 5,000 hatred points." What? Hearing this, Xiaoping's eyes flashed. Such news actually increased hatred points. If this was the case, it was not a big problem to let the news continue to ferment. Anyway, his reputation was not very good. Even if there were a few more scandals, it would not be a big problem. If he could gain hatred points, everything would not be a big problem. Boss, if you are not satisfied, I will tell the website to remove this news. Fatty Wang Dachui hesitated for a moment. He could offend anyone, but he could not offend his boss. Forget it, it has already happened and there is no other way. Xiaoping said in a deep voice, in short, you should have told me in advance about this matter. You can't make your own decisions. His tone was a little harsh. Yes, boss, I was wrong. Wang Dachui was suddenly awestruck. Xiaoping nodded. Okay, then that's it. You can continue the publicity work, but don't go too far. Of course, I promise there will be no big problems. Wang Dachui patted his chest, very confident. After saying this, Xiaoping hung up the phone with a snap. Looking at the strange expressions of the students around him, he did not take it seriously at all. He had long been immune to it. However, the news was getting more and more intense, and soon all the students in Tianshui City 95th High School knew about it. After all, the champion of their school's fighting competition was a great writer who wrote erotic novels. Everyone was extremely curious. Have you heard? That shameless Xiaoping is actually an erotic novel writer. He wrote a novel on the internet called Teacher by Rong. Everyone, don't read it. This bastard Xiaoping is too shameless. He harmed others and himself. He wrote such a novel. I don't know how many young people in Yanhuang Star have been poisoned, and even some old men have fallen for it. No way, this novel is so scary. Of course it's scary. You don't know this, but I was reading this novel with a critical mindset. I wanted to know what kind of bullshit this guy could write. I didn't expect to fall into a trap and not be able to climb out. Isn't that right? Last night, I read for 7 to 8 hours before I finally finished the novel. My body felt like it had been hollowed out. When I came to school this morning, my legs were trembling. Don't even mention how miserable I was. I don't know how this kid wrote this novel. His skill is close to the Tao. Even the masters of erotic novels such as Bao Pikhang are no better than this. It's too powerful. Powerful my ass. Some netizens revealed that the reason why this novel is so powerful is not fictional. It's all the personal experience of this shameless Xiaoping. That guy started hooking up with other people's wives at the age of 15. He had the experience of being chased by other people's husbands with kitchen knives many times. One time he was chased down 8 streets. Let me ask you, with such rich experience, how can he not be good at writing novels? Beast, he even hooked up with other people's wives. He's simply not human. This is nothing. Didn't you see that the protagonist of the novel is a teacher? Maybe that bastard has also hooked up with the teacher. It is said that this Xiaoping's class teacher is a great beauty. She has a pair of long legs, a curvy body, and a peerless beauty. I heard that she has hooked up with Xiaoping. Beast, I know the name of that beautiful teacher. She is called Qiuxiu. She is simply a perfect mature woman. She is my dream lover. Now she has been defiled by that Xiaoping. I don't believe it. This kind of thing must be a rumor. It's definitely a rumor. Don't believe it. I didn't believe Xiaoping's rumors before, but look at it now. Even the school bell Zhang Yaro of 95th Middle School, the school bell Chu Rong of 88th Middle School, and the school bell Nangong Wu of Sholan Middle School, the school bell Nangong Wu of Sholan Middle School. Now even if he hooked up with a beautiful class teacher, what's the big deal? No woman can escape his evil clutches. Many students were talking about it. Everyone was shocked. Some students were even mourning. Another school goddess was defiled by this bastard. They simply couldn't accept such a fact. It was fine that the school bell was hooked up by this bastard. After all, Jiang Yaru was his childhood friend and neighbor. It was not impossible for her to enjoy the moonlight first. But now even the teacher had been hooked up. Such a peerless beauty was defiled by this beast Xia Ping. They simply couldn't accept this kind of bad news. Shameless Xia Ping, he's not human. He didn't come to school to study, but to sow seeds. He's only a high school student and he's already doing such a shameless thing. When he leaves school, who knows how many women he'll harm? Is there no one who will control this bastard's evil actions? If this continues, all the goddesses we've set our eyes on will be hooked up by this bastard. What hope do we have? This is a teacher-student relationship. Hurry up and report it to the principal. Let him break them up. Report my ass. When that time comes, that Xia Ping will be fine, but teacher Choshua will be in trouble. Some people even say that she's an old cow eating young grass. Eat my ass. It's clearly a beautiful flower stuck on cow dung. That Xia Ping has taken a big advantage. A group of students wailed in grief and indignation. The school's goddess, teacher Choshua, was their dream lover. Who knew how many people loved her? She was even more popular than Jiang Yaru. But now that the famous flower was taken, and the owner was even a famous scumbag, none of them could accept this. Every one of them was filled with grief and indignation. But even if most of the students hated Xia Ping to the core, they didn't dare to do anything to him. That was because this bastard's evil name had long spread through the entire school. Who knew how many people had fallen under his evil hands? If they dared to stand in front of Xia Ping, they would most likely be sent flying with a single punch. But Xia Ping had still underestimated Wang Dachui's methods. The next day, this bastard actually began to reveal even more shocking news, even more eye-catching news, pushing this matter to the peak. Chapter 177. Explosive. The TV series adapted from the novel Teacher by Rong is about to be released on major video websites. It is said that this TV series was independently invested by the author, Black-Hearted Wolf, and he even set up a film and television production company. According to the gossip of the crew, the author, Black-Hearted Wolf, may personally play a supporting role and have exciting scenes with the female lead, Lin Meikong. Shocking scandal, famous actress Lin Meikong, crying that she may have been slept with by Black-Hearted Wolf. A high school student slept with a famous actress. Is this the decline of morality or the sorrow of society? Is it great to be rich in this world? A female actress crying and revealing a shocking scandal in the entertainment industry. At this time, news was released from Wang Dachui's hands, causing the internet to boil. In particular, the author, Black-Hearted Wolf, may star in this novel adapted into a TV series, and even slept with the famous actress Lin Meikong, which shocked countless netizens. Damn, the author is awesome. He can actually adapt a novel into a TV series? How is this kind of novel adapted? Why is the screenwriter so awesome? This is an unprecedented feat, even I'm a little excited. Upstairs, you're all idiots. You're not paying attention to the main point. Don't you see that this TV series is invested by the author Black-Hearted Wolf? And it's a personal investment. Isn't he afraid of losing everything? What's he afraid of? According to the gossip, this author Black-Hearted Wolf earned more than 50 million federal coins in just a month. I estimate that he will be number 1 on this year's author income list. Oh my god, he earned 50 million federal coins in a month. This is crazy. I only earn 5,000 federal coins a month at most, and he earns 10,000 times that. How can an 18-year-old high school student be so awesome? Why doesn't he go to heaven? Many netizens were shocked by this news. Even though they knew that this novel was very popular on the internet, they did not expect to earn so much in a month. This was simply getting rich overnight. An ordinary person would not be able to earn 50 million federal coins even in 100 years, but now this kid earned 50 million federal coins in just a month. This was too exaggerated. He has already earned so much money, why does he still want to make a TV series? Even if he is not afraid of losing money, there is no need. Some people expressed doubts about this news and were very puzzled. What do you know? Money is nothing to him. His goal is to pick up girls and sleep with all kinds of beautiful female stars. That's true. With a few million, any female star can sleep with them. I know Lin Meikong. I've seen her pictures. She has a pure face and a hot body. I'm willing to shorten my lifespan by 10 years for a woman like her. You won't be able to fuck her even if your lifespan is shortened by 100 years. Don't look at how many movies she has and how easy it seems to be to get her. But you can't fuck her without money. Damn it, doesn't this mean that we can get on it as long as we pay? That's right, but you need to pay a lot of money. Do you have that kind of money? I don't lack money. Brag, continue to brag. A person who earns 3,000 federal coins a month is bragging on the internet. Do you have any shame? Many netizens were filled with envy, jealousy, and hatred. Some people thought deeply and immediately realized why this black-hearted author was willing to solely invest in a TV series. It must be because he wanted to have a legitimate reason to sleep with various female stars. If it wasn't for such a purpose, how could this bastard be willing to make a loss? Shameless black-hearted wolf, it's too hateful. He actually used his power and money to openly sleep with beautiful female stars. He's simply shameless. I've misjudged his character. A netizen cried out in grief and indignation. By doing this, what's the difference between him and the shameless principal in that novel? He's simply a disgrace to the literati. I'm ashamed to be associated with this person. Big brother, he's just a writer of erotic novels. His character has long been eaten by dogs. I'm not bragging. If I had the money, I would also want to do it. That's right. Lin Meikong is so beautiful. Even if there are many people who have slept with her, I want to be one of them. This is a real veteran. He has picked up countless girls and achieved the great achievement of killing 10,000 people. Ordinary goods can't even enter his eyes. He has begun to play with some hardcore tastes. It's said that there are also some bosses who shoot these movies. They will do it themselves every time they shoot and never hire extras. I heard that this is to save costs. Save your face. If I were the boss, I would do it myself. Why would I let others take advantage of such a good thing? This black-hearted wolf probably also wants to be such a boss. Enter the entertainment industry and stir up trouble. Damn, it's good to be rich. He doesn't even write novels, but starts to shoot TV dramas and sleep with all kinds of female stars. I suggest that everyone don't subscribe to this bastard's novels. Every time we subscribe, we contribute to that bastard's prostitution. I don't know how many girls have been harmed by him. That's right. Everyone, hurry up and forward this comment. Boycott this shameless Xiaoping's works together. If you don't, you're not a Yanhuang star citizen. Many netizens were shouting at the top of their lungs, all of them extremely angry. And this matter was naturally known by the students of 95th High School, and everyone was in an uproar. This Xiaoping is the best. Even high school girls can't satisfy him. He's even starting to harm the goddess of the entertainment industry. How unfair the heavens are. This bastard has actually become the boss of a film and TV series. In the future, will I be able to see this bastard's performance through the screen? The gap between people is too big. I can only see goddess Lin Meikong through the screen, but now this bastard can have negative distance contact with the goddess. This is just the beginning. In the future, I don't know how many screen goddesses will be defiled by this bastard. Damn it, why isn't this guy impotent? Why? A group of students was furious. All of them were very unconvinced, and their eyes were green with jealousy. This bastard Xiaoping could have negative distance contact with the goddess, and they could only watch from the side. It was too hateful. There are rumors that this Xiaoping is too stingy. In order to save costs, he might come to the school to select a few male actors to film. A student secretly relayed the rumors. What? There's actually such a thing? This Xiaoping is so stingy that he doesn't even want to spend money to invite actors? All day long he wants others to be his free labor. He simply scapegoats Xia. A tall student looked up to the sky and sighed. If this news is true, everyone must not be fooled. Resist him together and let his evil plan go to waste. He actually wants the boys of 95th High School to be free labor. He's dreaming. His face was full of anger. Of course, if there's really such a thing, I'll be the first to stand up and resist. Everyone, don't fight with me. If you want to fight with me, I'll fight with you. I've decided to become undercover and enter that bastard's crew. I'll be your intelligence officer and inform everyone of this bastard's evil actions. No, no, no. I'm duty-bound to do voluntary work like this. None of you are qualified. It's easy to reveal flaws. Let me do it. After all, if I don't go to hell, who will? Chapter 178. Director Wang Dachui was very excited when he saw that the TV series adaptation of Teacher by Rong was very popular on the internet. Without hesitation, he immediately contacted the video website and announced that it would be released in the wee hours of the morning. Taking advantage of the popularity of the TV series, it would definitely receive a huge response. As Wang Dachui had expected, the moment the TV series was released on the video website, countless netizens immediately found out about it. All of them went online to watch it, wanting to see how this TV series adapted from a popular novel was like. When Xiaoping woke up the next day, he immediately received an excited call from Wang Dachui. "Boss, our TV series is very popular. Do you know that?" His virtual projection appeared in front of Xiaoping. Xiaoping looked at this fatty with two panda eyes and bloodshot pupils. It was obvious that he had not slept the whole night and was extremely excited. "Popular? What's going on?" Xiaoping blinked his eyes. Fatty Wang Dachui could not hide his emotions at all. He said excitedly, "When the TV series was released last night, a large number of netizens immediately flooded in to watch it. It almost paralyzed the video website. At that time, the person in charge of the website thought that he had been attacked by a hacker. Fortunately, the technicians handled it in time. 7 hours. In just 7 hours, the number of hits for our first episode has exceeded 30 million. It's 30 million hits, do you know?" He was dancing with joy. Xiaoping also understood why Wang Dachui was so excited. In just 7 hours, the number of hits had exceeded 30 million. They had earned 10 million federal dollars from the advertising fees alone. Moreover, this was just the beginning. In a few days, the number of hits would exceed 100 million or even 1 billion. The cost of 10 episodes of the TV series would have been earned back long ago. Moreover, it would be very profitable. With a beep, he immediately clicked on the web page and entered the video website. As expected, Xiaoping saw that the number of hits on the video was increasing crazily. It had already reached almost 40 million. There were even 80,000 comments in the comment section. The audience was very enthusiastic. "This is the best TV series I've ever seen. This female teacher is simply my dream lover. Initially, I only knew Teacher Lin when she took off her clothes. But because of this TV series, I got to know Teacher Lin when she put on her clothes. It's really eye-opening. If I had such a beautiful teacher as my form teacher, I wouldn't be carrying bricks today. I would be working in an office building, or even going out to hunt monsters in the wild to become a martial arts expert. Shameless black-hearted wolf. He harms others and himself. His novels have poisoned who knows how many youths. Now he's actually filming a TV series. How long is he going to harm us before he stops? Isn't that right? People like us are poor and have weak willpower, so we can't control ourselves at all. After one night, my body has been hollowed out. I don't know how much nutrition I need to eat to make up for it. This kind of work really can't be watched. It's too much of a scam. If you watch it, you'll regret it. This is a complete pile of shit. No, even cow dung is better than this. Novels were trash and so were TV dramas. I don't know what's wrong with this world. Trashy works can be shown, but some good works are unknown. I'm sorry, the one above is a lunatic. He just ran out of my courtyard and acted atrociously. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm a professor of psychiatry. My surname is Yang. Based on my initial judgment, the patient above needs electric shock treatment. It will take about 3 months. Trust me, I guarantee that the medicine will work and completely remove the root of the problem. From now on, you will no longer have to worry. Professor Yang, you're amazing. You can tell that guy is a psychopath at a glance. Many netizens were commenting passionately in the comments section of the video. Some of them were looking for trouble. They were also criticized by many netizens to the point that their lives were uncontrollable and miserable. Boss, Wang Dachui clenched his fists. If the click rate breaks 100 million, we can earn more than 30 million from one episode of such a TV series. If it's 10 episodes, we can earn more than 300 million. If the click rate breaks 1 billion in a single episode, we'll make a lot of money. He was extremely excited. Although he had thought that this novel adaptation of the TV series might become popular, He didn't expect it to become so popular. In fact, he had underestimated the popularity of this novel. Coupled with these hype methods, it attracted the attention of countless netizens. That was why such a miraculous thing happened. Xia Ping was also emotional. He thought that it was amazing that he had earned $400 million federal dollars from gambling. He estimated that no matter how amazing this TV series was, it would not make him earn more money. But he was wrong. Very wrong. The income that a phenomenal TV series could earn was simply astronomical. It earned money faster than a money printing machine. It was not an exaggeration to say that this was an overnight millionaire. In just 7 hours, and it was only the first episode, they could earn $30 million in advertising fees. After a period of time when more TV series were released, how much would they earn then? A billionaire or even a billionaire would be at their fingertips. Continue filming. Xia Ping immediately said, shoot 100 episodes of this TV series. Of course, I'll increase your pay accordingly. I won't let you suffer too much. He was not a stingy person. Since the other party could create such value, it meant that the other party was worth that much money. It was normal to raise the other party's salary. Thank you, boss. Wang Dachui was overjoyed. His eyes were almost brimming with tears. After such a long time, he had finally proven his talent in filming again. He was definitely not a lost talent. He suppressed the excitement in his heart and clenched his fists. It had been 3 years. For a full 3 years he had been humiliated and chased out of the film industry like a stray dog. But now he, Wang Dachui, was back again. This time he would not be chased away. In the next 2 days, Wang Dachui released the remaining 9 episodes of the TV series one after another. Each episode caused a great sensation, with more than 100 million views in a day. The 10 TV series added up to more than 1 billion views, and the number of comments reached 1.5 million, ranking first on the list of popular TV series on the internet. Even the popularity of the TV series drove the sales of the novel. Countless viewers watched the novel curiously, forming a huge trend on the internet. However, as the popularity of the TV series grew, Xia Ping's name, his identity, and a series of his deeds were clearly dug out by countless netizens. Even the beautiful teacher in Xia Ping's class was known by many people. A large number of fans of the novel even made a pilgrimage to 95th High School, just to surround the legendary prototype of Bai Rong, the legendary beautiful female teacher. Chapter 179. In the conference room of Tianshui City 95th High School. At this time the school leaders gathered in the conference room. They were all discussing the matter of Xia Ping. Because the commotion was too big, a large number of fans had appeared outside the school recently, constantly lingering at the door, greatly affecting the education work. Headmaster, a bald middle-aged man said angrily, I suggest that damn Xia Ping be driven away immediately. He is simply the black sheep of our 95th high school. Look at what he has done. Instead of reading books, he actually ran to write erotic articles. He is still just a high school student, still just a child. His face was full of pain and grief. This bald middle-aged man was the school's dean. Well, students have some hobbies and it's not very convenient for us to stop them. The headmaster was an old man in his 50s or 60s. He said slowly and methodically, although writing this kind of article is a bit too much and not worth advocating, it does not violate the school rules. It is impossible to drive him away because of such a small matter. But that guy still wants a foot after taking an inch. He actually opened a film and television company. The bald middle-aged man gritted his teeth with a face full of jealousy. It is said that the purpose of opening this company is to do all kinds of unspoken and shameless things with all kinds of female stars. Headmaster, tell me, is this kind of thing allowed? In the long run, to what extent will the atmosphere of our school be corrupted by this student? This is a bad example. What's even more hateful is that there is news that this guy may even intend to recruit some high school students to do volunteer work, in order to save filming costs. Now because of this matter, everyone in the school is in a state of panic. No one is studying well. Some male students are here all day to hone their acting skills and exercise, hoping to be taken a fancy to by Xia Ping. Headmaster, you judge. What does this student think of the sacred school? If this continues, our 95th high school will really become a talent training base for that area. Who will still come to our school to study? Hearing this, many school leaders had very strange expressions. They had been engaged in education for many years, but they had never seen such a student. He was only a high school student, but he actually wanted to enter the entertainment industry to have unspoken relationships with all kinds of female stars. He was simply the best. Ordinary people just thought about it, but this guy really did it, and now it was known to everyone. Some of the school leaders were even more envious and jealous. How could this bastard be able to hook up with so many female celebrities? The principal was also a little speechless. However, he coughed and said, "Aren't these all rumors and rumors? They're not real. There's no need to go to the extent of them. Moreover, he's the champion of the fighting competition. He's the symbol of our school. How can we chase him away just like that?" Hearing this, the bald, middle-aged man's voice immediately rose an octave. "So what if you have good grades? If you don't have good conduct, you'll still be the black sheep of society after coming out. You won't make any contribution to society. A piece of rat poop spoils half a pot of soup. Don't be soft-hearted towards this brat just because he has some martial arts ability. You still have to chase him away. Moreover, this bastard is also a potential criminal. This fellow actually has improper thoughts towards teacher Choshua, and even wrote that novel because of this. To be honest, for the sake of education, I also went to criticize it, and it's not bad. But this proves how terrible that brat is. What kind of fantasy does he have to write such an article? In time he can't control himself. Maybe he will do something to teacher Choshua, and even other female teachers will be in danger. He's a beast who won't even let go of a wife." He gritted his teeth and was extremely sad and indignant. A group of teachers looked at the bald man with disdain, saying that he criticized for the sake of education. Criticize an egg. There are so many fresh and refined excuses for looking at ass. This bastard deserves to be bald. What? He won't even let go of a wife. This is a bit too much. At such a young age, his taste is so heavy. Young people nowadays are really amazing. This old man only understood the charm when he was in his 30s or 40s. The principal sighed. "Principal." The bald man shouted, "You can't cover up this student anymore. It's better to expel him quickly and settle the storm of this matter. Otherwise, the reputation of our school will be completely ruined, and no one will be willing to come here to study." He was filled with hatred towards Xia Ping. He was just a little brat, yet he dared to be so high profile in the school. He didn't even let go of teacher Choshua. What would happen in the future? No matter what, this bastard wanted to covet teacher Choshua, so he had to chase him away. It's not a big problem to expel him, but he has just joined the giant company and is a reserve member. The principal smiled and looked at the bald man. "If the giant company blames him, will you bear the responsibility?" "What?" After hearing this, the bald man's face turned green. He was indescribably shocked and almost didn't dare to believe his own ears. "Principal, you are saying that he joined the giant company?" "That's right, not many people know about this matter. Only the upper class of Tinshui City knows about this. It's normal that you don't know about it." The principal looked at the bald man. "Do you still want to expel such an outstanding student?" This. The bald man's face turned completely green. His entire body was trembling. He knew how difficult it was to join the giant company. Everyone who could join was a peerless monster. A true unparalleled genius. Such a character, no matter which school it was, would be wanted. If he expelled Xia Ping today because of some ridiculous reason and the giant company blames him, he wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. Even the mayor wouldn't be able to protect him. "Teaching head, you are making a big fuss over a minor issue." The principal smiled and said, "Recently, some students have reported that you are a little too overboard, causing the heavens to be angry. Many parents have come to complain. I think that your work pressure is too much and you need to take a break. Your work can be temporarily handed over to teacher Liu. I don't think you have any objections, right?" The surrounding school leaders were all stunned. Clearly, the principal was using this opportunity to beat the teaching head. This fellow had been jumping up and down recently, causing trouble, and didn't give the principal any face. Although the principal didn't say it, they all remembered it in their hearts. Right now, they were going to use a thunderous strike to suppress the teaching head. As expected, this move immediately hit the fatal spot of the teaching head. No, I don't have any objections. The teaching head's face was ashen. If he were to take a break, a few years would pass. However, this was the principal's order. He had no choice but to lower his head. All right, this matter shall end here. No one is allowed to mention it again. This is just an uproar on the internet. After this period of time, there won't be any problems. It will slowly cool down. The principal calmly said. Yes, principal. Chapter 180. At this time at night, in a high-end apartment in Tianshui City. This high-end apartment is where Qiushu lives. It has 3 bedrooms and 1 living room, covering an area of 100 square meters. The decoration is extremely luxurious with marble floors, crystal chandeliers, various leather sofas, LCD TVs, and so on. But now the owner of this house is not in a very good mood. She is picking up the phone and talking to her best friend, only to hear the other party's laughter. Little Shui, I heard that you went to teach in a high school and was secretly loved by a student in your class? The other party even wrote this into a novel and made it into a TV series. I have to say, this is the most high-profile courtship method I have ever seen. You are worthy of being Miss Chiu. No matter where you go, your charm is irresistible to those little boys. I admire you. Her tone contained a sense of ridicule. Shut up. Qiushu said angrily. I am troubled by this matter, but I haven't told you about it. Where did you hear about it? Do I need you to tell me? It's all over the internet. Who doesn't know that Miss Chiu has become famous overnight? Her best friend giggled and was in a very happy mood. By the way, I also saw on the internet that a lot of fans went to your school. It seems that they are planning to make a pilgrimage. Have you been asked for your autograph? Speaking of this, Qiushu felt a headache. She was a very low-key person and rarely encountered such a crazy scene. As soon as she came to school, there was a large group of people taking pictures of her, and some people asking for autographs. Among them, there were many middle-aged men. This was simply becoming a superstar. She couldn't control such a scene at all, and it even began to affect her own teaching activities. Every day when she went to school, there would be a group of people waiting at the door, which made her a little nervous. This was even more terrible than a suitor. Don't talk about this. I am troubled. This has seriously affected my teaching work. Do you have any good way to solve this matter? Qiushu said helplessly. Can you delete those strange rumors on the internet? Haha. It's impossible to delete them. This kind of news is spreading everywhere. It's difficult to delete them. We can only wait. Things on the internet always disappear after a few months, and this time is no exception. Qiushu's best friend giggled. She really enjoyed Qiushu's current embarrassed state. Qiushu, who used to be called the campus goddess, when did she become like this? It was simply a rare sight. How many more months? Qiushu was speechless. She had a headache. She wouldn't be able to endure such a situation for a few months. But what about that little boy? Did he come over to talk to you? Did he give you a few love letters and even confess? A teacher-student relationship, just thinking about it makes me feel excited. Her best friend was very gossipy about this matter and revealed a treacherous smile. No. Qiushu glared at her best friend's virtual projection and was extremely angry. What kind of person was this? It was fine if she didn't comfort her, but she was actually here gloating and adding insult to injury. However, she also felt extremely indignant. Things had already developed to this point, yet that guy didn't even give her an apology. He didn't express anything at all. It was truly hateful to the extreme. She decided that she had to talk to Xiaoping tomorrow and settle this matter thoroughly. Regardless of whether this student had other thoughts about her, in short, this matter couldn't continue like this. The next morning, Xiaoping sat in the bedroom, and the sun slanted down from the window extremely bright. Boom! At this moment, the true qi in Xiaoping's meridians was extremely rich. After a few days of cultivation, he finally raised his cultivation to the peak of the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm. He felt that the true qi in his body was unprecedentedly powerful. The true qi of the 9 meridians was merged together, growing endlessly, and 9 returned to 1, completely integrated into 1. This was the realm of all methods returned to 1. Huh. Am I going to break through to the martial artist realm? When Xiaoping reached the peak of the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm, he felt that he was only a thin layer of paper away from the martial artist realm. As long as he moved slightly, he could break through. By the way, when the conditions are right, this is right. Xiaoping's heart surged with endless emotion. The real cultivation was natural, and there was no bottleneck to speak of. The reason why there was a bottleneck was that this realm had not been cultivated to the point of perfection. There were more or less some flaws, so it would cause the difficulty of breaking through. This was the bottleneck. However, when one's cultivation reached the realm of dream realization, one would naturally break through to the next realm. This was a natural process, and there would be no obstacles in the way of a breakthrough. And Xiaoping opened the Baihui acupoint when he was in the 5th heaven of the martial artist realm. He had long stepped into the martial artist realm. Now all the 9 meridians were opened, and the true qi was abundant. There was no bottleneck to speak of at all. Rumble, when the true qi of the 9 meridians surged at the same time and gathered together, it formed a raging river. It suddenly broke through the Baihui acupoint on the body, and a large amount of true qi was instilled in. The martial artist realm finally arrived. Xiaoping opened his eyes, which emitted a frightening light. When the true qi completely connected to the Baihui acupoint, the mental power inside was immediately opened up, and in an instant it spread throughout his body, adhering to every inch of the true qi. At this moment he felt that he had reached the realm of inner vision. He could clearly see the state of the true qi in his body. He could clearly understand every bone, every inch of muscle, and even every meridian in his body. Not only that, his muscles, meridians, bones, and even every cell in his body had been tempered and strengthened by the true qi. His strength and speed had greatly increased, becoming several times stronger than before. The spiritual force in his mind also spread out. 10 meters, 20 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, and finally reached a distance of 250 meters. At this distance, any movement in the wind and grass could be clearly perceived by him. It could be said to be all-pervasive. The flow of the air, the particles in the air, and so on were all presented in his mind. The true qi in his body was also several times stronger than before. The Baihui acupoint could hold more true qi than the meridians in the body, and it had become even more powerful. I have to test my current strength. I have to find a secret place to try it. I'll take a temporary leave today. Xiaoping's eyes flashed, and he immediately stood up. He was extremely excited. After being promoted to the martial artist realm, it was a completely different realm. This kind of strength was enough to go out in the wild, fight real monsters, and establish a foothold in this world. Chapter 181. On the outskirts of Tianshui City, in a remote valley, there is no one around. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. A figure flickered in the valley, and there were afterimages in the air. Ordinary people's eyes couldn't keep up with such speed, and even the air was distorted. Sand and stones flew on the ground. With a punch, the true qi was released, producing an air explosion, containing a terrifying power. With a bang 10 meters away, a rock half the height of a person in the distance was immediately smashed into pieces. With a bang, another kick was sent out, and a big tree with the thickness of a bowl was kicked off in the air. The whole tree slowly fell down and suddenly hit the ground, raising a cloud of dust. When a set of fist techniques was completed, the entire valley had been changed beyond recognition, with gravel powder everywhere, as if it had been bombed by missiles, becoming a scene of ruins. The 1st heaven of the martial artist realm, the release of true qi, the 100-step divine fist, the realm of killing people in the air, I have finally reached it. This figure is obviously Xiaoping. He clenched his fists and his eyes were shining with excitement. He felt that the martial artist realm was completely different from the martial artist realm. Not only was his true qi several times thicker, but even with the help of spiritual force, he was able to release his true qi, and the power of a punch was more than 10 times stronger. If he only relied on brute force before, but now with the power of true qi, the destructive power is terrifying, and a punch can turn the steel into a pile of slag. 10 meters away, he can smash the enemy's heart. Is this the power of the martial artist realm? Sure enough, it's not something that the martial artist realm can compare with. Xiaoping can feel that every inch of muscle in his body is full of the power of true qi, and every punch and kick exudes terrible power. He feels that he can beat 10 of himself before. By the way, I have been promoted to the martial artist realm, And I should also be able to practice the second level of the Dark North Body Protection Technique and the 7 Arrows Technique. Xiaoping's eyes flashed and his mind moved. The system immediately said, redeem the second level of the Dark North Body Protection Technique and the 7 Arrows Technique, which cost a total of 50,000 hatred points. Rumble, suddenly, the information of these two levels of cultivation was instilled into Xiaoping's mind. Countless pattern information flowed in the deepest part of his mind, and he suddenly grasped it clearly, as if he had been practicing for decades. This is the second level of the Dark North Body Protection Technique. That's amazing. Xiaoping clenched his fists. He circulated the secret art in his body and felt a layer of true qi covering his body like water. Under the control of his mental energy, his essential energy seeped into every inch of his body. If it could only cover his muscles and bones in the past, it could even seep into his bone marrow now and be thoroughly tempered. The second level of the head-piercing 7 Arrows art was also very powerful. It had an additional attack method that relied on Zhen Qi, which made the attack power of the concealed weapons even more terrifying. It was more than several times stronger than before. The second level of the technique was the starting point for this concealed weapon technique to display its true power. However, now that I've advanced to the martial warrior realm, the power of the 5 forms fist seems to be unable to keep up. After all, this is only a basic martial skill, and it's not too powerful. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. He had already cultivated the 5 forms fist to the highest realm. If it was only used by the martial disciple realm, it was completely enough. However, after reaching the martial warrior realm, this martial art technique was slightly insufficient. It was unable to completely unleash the true strength of a martial warrior, and it would slightly weaken one's combat power. Host, the system immediately said, it is recommended to cultivate the advanced fist technique of the 5 forms fist, 10,000 beasts fist. It is the same lineage as the 5 forms fist, but it is countless times stronger. With the cultivation experience of the 5 forms fist, I believe that it will not be difficult to successfully cultivate this 10,000 beasts fist. It requires 50,000 hatred points to exchange. What? Hearing this, Xiaoping was also taken aback. This fist technique actually required 50,000 hatred points to exchange. One must know that the second level of the head-piercing 7 Arrows art required 30,000 hatred points, which was already a top technique. However, this 10,000 beasts fist required 50,000 hatred points. From this place, it could be seen that the power of this fist technique was not comparable to the basic fist techniques such as the 5 forms fist. The 10,000 beasts fist is a peerless fist technique created by the 10,000 beasts Taoist in ancient times. Xiaoping looked at the introduction of the martial art above. It simulates the characteristics of the beasts in the world, and is created by the fusion of the power of the beasts. Each move contains great power and is extremely terrifying. When cultivated to the extreme, 10,000 beasts cry, move mountains and fill the sea, shatter the void, and a punch can be thousands of miles away, shatter the stars in the outer realm, and it is so tyrannical that it is outrageous. Just from the introduction of the martial art, he could see the power of this 10,000 beasts fist. Yes, Xiaoping didn't say anything else. The hatred points were for consumption. The trial of the giant company was about to begin, and he wanted to do everything possible to improve his strength. Moreover, during the duel competition he received more than 100,000 hatred points, plus the previous TV series, he also received more than 30,000 hatred points. Even if he exchanged for this technique, he still had more than 30,000 hatred points left, which was more than enough. Yes, host, the system said. Rumble, as soon as the voice fell, a huge flow of information poured into Xiaoping's mind. Vaguely, he seemed to see an old man in white practicing fist techniques above the starry sky. As he punched out, phantoms of primordial ferocious beasts appeared behind him. They reared their heads back and roared. Each and every move they made was filled with the aura of the great wilderness. They were vast and ancient, containing an ancient wildness and a terrifying desolate might. With a crack, the last punch was punched out. 10,000 beasts roared, and the entire space exploded. And Xiaoping also woke up at this moment and opened his eyes. This is the 10,000 beasts fist? Xiaoping's eyes revealed a glimmer of light. He felt that he seemed to have cultivated this fist technique for decades, and he had gained a lot from the system's enlightenment. But even so, he felt that this fist technique was broad and profound. Even with the system's enlightenment, if he didn't cultivate it seriously, his body wouldn't be able to quickly master it. Immediately, he used this set of fist techniques in the valley, and his whole body transformed into 10,000 beasts. Countless beasts roared in the void, and the air trembled. The whole hill seemed to be trembling, and the rocks collapsed. The true qi in his body was like a turbulent sea, crazily erupting, flowing everywhere in his meridians, producing the roar of true qi. Bang bang bang. The surrounding rocks were smashed by the punches, and huge deep pits appeared on the ground. Gravel splashed everywhere and black cracks appeared, like winding lightning. The scene was shocking. Once he cultivated, a day passed. Beep beep. Just when the sky was dark, Xiaoping's mobile phone immediately received a message. He took out his mobile phone and looked at it. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, gather at Tianshui City Airport, and start the trial of the giant company. The school has already taken 2 months off. There is no need to worry. What? Chapter 182. Early the next morning. Qiushu originally wanted to talk to Xiaoping, but she was informed by the principal that Xiaoping would take more than a month off and might not come back until the college entrance examination began. What? Hearing this news, Qiushu was furious. This bastard took a leave and slipped away. He was very relaxed, but she was miserable. She was targeted by so many fanatical fans. She didn't know how long it would be troublesome, especially those perverts who often ambushed at the school gate. They persistently followed her every day. Although she was not afraid with her strength, who would feel comfortable being followed like this all the time? Originally, she wanted to talk to Xiaoping and settle this matter. But she didn't expect that the bastard slipped away and took more than a month off. She didn't even see him. This joke was too big. Wait for me, you actually brought me so much trouble. Once you come back, I will definitely teach you a lesson. Qiushu gritted her teeth and was furious. She finally remembered this matter. When Xiaoping came back, she must avenge her personal grievances and make things difficult for the bastard. At this time, Xiaoping arrived at Tianshui City Airport. A huge spaceship was parked in the open space. There was a lot of traffic. Countless passengers were coming in and out of this airport. It was very lively. Xiaoping. As soon as he entered the airport, Xiaoping immediately saw a big man with a height of 1.9 meters coming from the opposite side. He was wearing a white exercise suit and looked extremely strong. Behind him were also 4 or 5 men in black. Each of them had an extraordinary aura. Their temples were bulging, revealing a fierce aura. They looked like a jungle beast. But in Xiaoping's view, these men in black were not even worthy of carrying the shoes of this big man in white exercise suit. Just standing in place was like a small mountain. His aura was integrated with nature. When he walked, it was as if he was integrated with the earth. His every move had the taste of a master. Even though the airport was surrounded by people, countless passengers walked, bustling and very crowded. But when this man walked over, he had a unique aura. The surrounding passengers all subconsciously avoided and made way for him. Even the oncoming passengers subconsciously avoided and walked away. The powerful aura formed a circle, isolating the surroundings. You are. Xiaoping looked at this big man with a trace of doubt in his eyes. Haha. The white-robed man burst into laughter. I'm Elder Feng's disciple. My name is Gu Peng, and I'm also the one who's here to welcome you to the trial. You also know that my master is usually quite busy, so he left this matter to me. After saying that, he stretched out his big hand and shook hands with Xiaoping. Immediately, Xiaoping felt a mountain-like power coming from his opponent's hand. Even if it wasn't intentional, it was enough to make people feel a strong sense of oppression. However, the other party didn't have any ill intentions. He just shook her hand for a moment before letting go. This power, could it be that you have advanced to the martial warrior realm? Gu Peng's eyes revealed a glimmer of light. But Master said before that you were only a powerhouse in the 9th heaven of the martial disciple realm. It's only been a week and you've been promoted to the martial disciple realm? I was lucky. Xiaoping nodded and said modestly. He was also a little surprised. Just by shaking hands, he was actually able to see through his current strength. This kind of eyesight was really amazing. This isn't luck. It's strength and talent. Gu Peng's attitude was obviously more enthusiastic. It seems that Master really found a good seedling. I estimate that you also have a 40 to 50% chance of passing this trial. Let's go. Time is urgent. I'll tell you in detail after boarding the spaceship. After saying that, he waved his hand and let Xiaoping follow him into the depths of the airport. 40 to 50% chance. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. According to his strength, he could be called the #1 high school student in Tianshui City, but in the eyes of the other party, the chance of passing was only 50%. This was not deliberately making things difficult, but the other party came to such a conclusion after knowing his strength. Even a powerhouse like this man in white thought so. Could be imagined how difficult this trial was. However, Xiaoping didn't care. After all, he still had many powerful trump cards. Even if this man in white was strong, it was impossible to understand his full strength. Thinking of this, he followed the burly man in white, Gu Peng and the others. A few minutes later, Xiaoping saw a small black spaceship parked on the flat ground of the airport. It was streamlined and full of sci-fi feeling. It could about accommodate a dozen people and was not very big. However, he could feel the fierce aura of this small spaceship. It seemed to be loaded with a lot of lethal weapons. Once it was activated, even if it encountered a siege of countless monsters, it would be able to kill its way out. Rumble. When Xiaoping, the man in white, and the others boarded the spaceship, the door of the spaceship closed, and they immediately flew toward the sky. There was no delay at all. May I ask where we are going this time? After sitting down, Xiaoping immediately asked. Gu Peng smiled slightly. Black Moon City. What? To Black Moon City. Hearing this name, Xiaoping couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. He originally thought that in this life, there should be very few opportunities to continue to go to Black Moon City. After all, he had caused a big trouble in Black Moon City before. Even if he thought that he didn't reveal any flaws, he didn't want to return to such a dangerous place again. It seems that you also know what kind of place Black Moon City is. Gu Peng laughed. As everyone knows, it is a city of the underworld. Chaos, slaughter, crime, and all the evils of the world are gathered here. It is simply a kingdom of the underworld, a place outside of the Federation's laws. Anyone who mentions Black Moon City will frown. It is regarded as a taboo city, a place that ordinary people can't go to. However, do you know why the Federation allows such a city of sin to exist? He looked at Xiaoping. I don't know, Xiaoping said honestly. Gu Peng paused, then said in a low voice, it's very simple. It is because Black Moon City has an ancient relic, the Black Moon Tower, and the master of this Black Moon Tower is a king realm expert called the Black Moon King. That place is the Black Moon King's territory. Even the Federation can't control it. Over time, this place became a neutral land, a place outside of the laws, a place where many underworld organizations gather. Of course, there are many unknown reasons why this place is so prosperous. He gave a simple explanation of Black Moon City's origins. Xiaoping's eyes flashed. Although he knew that Black Moon City's origins were not simple, he didn't expect this city of sin to be so terrifying. It was actually the territory of a king realm expert. Chapter 183. Why do I have to go to Black Moon City for the giant company's trial? Xiaoping only cared about this. As for the history of Black Moon City, it didn't have much to do with him now. It's simple, Gu Peng said. That's because Black Moon City has a relic left behind by the ancient civilization, the Black Moon Tower. This tower is also known as the Tower of Trials. It's extremely precious, and even Yanhuang Planet's technology can't analyze it. It's because of the Tower of Trials that Black Moon City is so prosperous. The entire Yangzhou district and even Yanhuang Planet's martial artists come here. It's said that this Black Moon Tower contains a big secret. Even its owner, the Black Moon King, can't completely control it. But even if he can only control a bit, it's enough for the Black Moon King to have overwhelming combat power among King Realm martial artists. He clenched his fists, and his eyes showed a trace of yearning. In other words, my trial will be above this Black Moon Tower? Xiaoping's eyes flashed. Gu Peng looked at Xiaoping with admiration and nodded. That's right. You are indeed smart. This time your trial will be within the Black Moon Tower. In reality, it's not just the giant company. Even the Aurora Company, which is as famous as the giant company, and the Life Company, as well as other tyrannical organizations, have chosen this place to test their official members. Because this ancient relic, the Black Moon Tower, is absolutely fair. It can test a martial artist's potential with the highest efficiency. This is recognized by many martial arts organizations. There's no doubt about it. His tone was very certain. Xiaoping also knows that the technology contained in these ancient ruins is very advanced. He doesn't know how many years ahead of the current Yanhuang star. In the beginning, human beings relied on the unearthed ancient ruins to obtain advanced technology and tyrannical martial arts cultivation methods, thus defeating countless monsters on Yanhuang star, and once again establishing the position of human overlord. There were also some martial artists who obtained some ancient relic and soared to the sky, ascending to the pinnacle of martial arts and becoming super big shots. This also proved the power of the relic's technology, far beyond what humans could imagine. And the Black Moon Tower's trial is also divided into a few levels. Gupeng continued, entry level, easy level, hard level, and nightmare level. Each level is stronger than the one before. You only need to pass the hard level to pass the giant company's trial. He stated the requirements for Xiaoping to pass the giant company trial. Hard mode. Xiaoping blinked his eyes. Gupeng nodded. Yes, it's the hard mode. You have a total of 1 month to try. Once you pass it once, it will be considered as you passing the trial. In this month, you can try as many times as you want. However, once this month is over, you won't have another chance. The trial will be treated as a failure. Clearly, he believed that it would be extremely difficult for Xiaoping to pass the hard-level trial within a month. What about the nightmare trial? Xiaoping asked curiously. Nightmare trial? Gupeng instantly laughed. If you can pass it, of course you can pass it too. But up until now, there are countless members of the giant company who can pass the nightmare trial. Once he succeeds, as long as he doesn't die, he will definitely become a big shot in the future. His tone was filled with certainty. As long as someone could pass the nightmare difficulty trial, they would definitely become the focus of the giant company. Their future would be limitless. However, it was simply too difficult to pass a trial of this level. It was practically impossible. Xiaoping touched his chin. If there was a chance, he definitely had to pass the nightmare difficulty trial. If he wanted to be valued by the giant company, being mediocre was not a good choice. The more high profile he was, the more people would pay attention to him. What exactly is the content of the trial? Xiaoping looked at Gupeng. Gupeng mysteriously smiled. About this, you will know when you go to Black Moon Tower. Oh right, here is a human skin mask made of nanomaterials. Also, there is your anonymous credit card. All the money you have spent in Black Moon City is recorded on it. At the same time, your real identity must be kept a secret during this trial. Kept a secret? Xiaoping looked at Gupeng with a puzzled expression. He stretched out his hand and took the human skin mask. After putting it on, the face of another person turned into that of an ordinary young man. It was completely different from the current him. In fact, this human skin mask made of nanomaterials was completely different from the toy-grade human skin mask he had bought before. It was more realistic, natural, and there were almost no flaws. It was completely stuck to the face. Of course, if people in the outside world find out that members of the giant company enter and leave Black Moon City, it will most likely attract a lot of trouble. Gupeng explained, although this kind of trouble is not very important to the giant company, it is best to avoid trouble as much as possible. Besides, this is also a part of the trial. You can say it like this. When the flying shuttle arrives at Black Moon City, the moment you leave the flying shuttle, the trial will begin. I will leave everything else to you to handle. I will not go with you. I will just stay here and wait for you to return. Xiaoping nodded, indicating that he understood. More than an hour later, the flying shuttle finally arrived at the airport of Black Moon City. This was the central area of Black Moon City. It was also the most prosperous area in the entire city. It was completely different from the suburbs. Xiaoping left the flying shuttle and looked around. He immediately saw many skyscrapers that were more than 100 stories tall. They were arranged in neat rows, and many hover cars were flying in the air. One by one, busy passengers left the airport. All of this looked no different from a normal bustling city. It was full of order. However, Xiaoping also knew that this was only on the surface. He could clearly feel that the passengers who arrived in this city all had a terrifying strength. Each of them exuded a deep murderous aura. Who knew how many lives they had been stained with? These passengers were all vigilant of each other, keeping a distance of 2 or 3 meters from each other. They never approached each other easily. These actions seemed to have become their instinct. Moreover, their strength was at least above the 8th layer of martial disciple. There were even martial disciple powerhouses. The quality of these powerhouses was much higher than in Tianshui City. Fugitives. Most of the people who come to Black Moon City are fugitives. Xiaoping's eyes flashed. He had long since put on the human skin mask and kept a certain distance from the others. He then boarded a bus. After a few stops, he quickly arrived at the central area of Black Moon City. This was the most prosperous area in the entire Black Moon City. It was also where the ancient ruins, the Black Moon Tower, was located. This is the Black Moon Tower. After getting off the bus, Xiaoping immediately saw a towering black tower that pierced the clouds appear in front of him. It occupied at least several million acres of land. It was simply a colossus. It towered into the clouds, piercing straight into the heavens. In the middle of the sky, a full moon hung with no end in sight. Some people said that this tower was at least tens of thousands of meters tall, but no one could verify it. Chapter 184. Beep beep. Just as Xiaoping was about to enter the Black Moon Tower, his phone suddenly rang. He glanced at it casually and saw that it was Director Wang Dachui calling. Hello Wang Dachui, what's up? Xiaoping picked up his phone and immediately answered. Wang Dachui's voice came over. Boss, didn't you promise to do a live broadcast with your fans and have face-to-face communication with them? Why aren't you online yet? Your fans are getting impatient. Do you understand? Live broadcast. Hearing this, Xiaoping was stunned. He suddenly remembered that Wang Dachui did mention such a thing before. In order to promote the website and accumulate popularity, he had to communicate with many readers on the internet. This was also an activity that many famous novelists often participated in. Communicating with fans face-to-face, not only could they accumulate popularity, but they could also promote their works. It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But because he had been busy with martial arts cultivation for the past few days, and he had to go through the giant company's trial, he had basically forgotten about this matter. Sorry, I forgot about this. Let's talk about it next time. I have something to do now and don't have much time. Xiaoping wanted to refuse this live broadcast. After all, he was going to enter the Black Moon Tower later, and had no time to do a live broadcast here. Hey, don't. Wang Dachui immediately became anxious. I promised the fans long ago. If I change my mind now, it will definitely cause a riot. Even if it's less time, at least I have to meet with everyone. He was very anxious. If he changed his mind at the last minute, he did not know how badly he would be scolded by the netizens. Xiaoping hesitated for a moment. It was indeed not a good thing to break the promise. Although this might cause the anger of many fans, and he might gain a lot of hatred, he did not want to use this method to gain hatred. He wanted to be a devil, but he did not want to be a heartless devil that angered the heavens. If he could make people love and hate him, that would be the best thing. Okay, I can do a live broadcast, but only for a short period of time. Xiaoping thought about it and took off the human skin mask from his face, revealing his true face. If he wanted to do a live broadcast, he could not reveal his true purpose of coming to Black Moon City. However, he was not worried that revealing his true identity in Black Moon City would cause any trouble. After all, there were many people who came to Black Moon City, and he was only one of them. No problem. Wang Dachui was overjoyed. He didn't give Xiaoping time to refuse. He immediately sent a website address and said, Boss, this is the address of the live broadcast. You can just click on it. Seeing this, Xiaoping reached out and clicked on it. Immediately, his mobile phone was connected to the live video software. The mobile phone's camera also shot his figure and transmitted the image to the live broadcast space. Seeing Xiaoping's figure appear, the people who had been in the live broadcast space immediately became excited. The number of people watching the live broadcast also increased sharply. From 100,000 to 500,000. He's out. Black-hearted wolf is finally out. I didn't wait for 3 hours in vain. I didn't even dare to go to the toilet. To be honest, even my girlfriend wouldn't dare to make me wait that long. This is Black-hearted wolf? Son of a bitch, you think you can pick up countless girls with this look? Ahem. I'm here to hear how this guy managed to cheat on more than a dozen boats. Can you impart some experience to me? Big Brother, is the novel you write really a biography of a character? Is it a personal experience? What does it feel like to sleep with the princess of Tianshui City? Does it make you feel a little pressure that women are superior to men? What kind of skills do you need to live off a woman? Even a beauty like Nangong Wu has been picked up by you. Do you want to become the son-in-law of the Nangong family, gain both wealth and beauty, and seize the Nangong family's tens of billions of assets? Comments immediately popped up on the screen. All of them were extremely gossipy. They were all extremely curious about Xia Ping's experience. Not only was he good at writing novels, but he was also a winner in life, which made people envious. Seeing these comments, Xia Ping was speechless and didn't know what to say. What the hell? Before Xia Ping could say anything, an audience immediately exclaimed, "Everyone look where Black-hearted wolf is. This place is amazing. There are many beautiful women, all dressed in revealing clothes, very shameless." They saw that Xia Ping was surrounded by the Black Moon Tower. This was the most prosperous place in the whole of Black Moon City. There were many hotels, inns, bars, casinos, nightclubs, and all kinds of entertainment places. This was simply a money-squandering den. As the headquarters of the underworld organization, there were many places like this. Naturally, there were also many prostitutes. All of them were beautiful women with hot bodies, and also wore heavy makeup. Moreover, they were dressed in revealing clothes, as short as they could be. If it wasn't for the mandatory requirement of Black Moon City, they would all want to strip naked and desperately stand on the street to attract customers. One could imagine how shocking such a scene was. To the people of ordinary cities, it was simply unheard of. Only in Black Moon City could such a scene be seen. My God, what is this place? How can there be so many beautiful women? Such looks, such waists, such legs, not that I'm boasting, but I can play with them for 10 years. Shameless, what's wrong with women these days? Each and every one of them has no sense of shame, dressing up in revealing clothes, and wearing as short as they can. Why don't they just wear them? It's so cool like this. Personal experience, it's better to wear clothes. Only when they wear them will there be a sense of mystery, and it's boring to strip naked instead. The person above is an old driver, speaking from experience. Quick look, that shameless woman. She's only wearing a shell from head to toe. She's playing at the edge like this natural mosaic, very unscrupulous. The morals of the world are degenerating day by day, and people's hearts are not what they used to be. To think that they can even think of and wear such clothes, how can they let us men live? Shameless Black-hearted wolf, I'm still a child, still in high school, and he's already letting me watch such things. If this goes on, we'll die in the hands of this Black-hearted wolf sooner or later. He's not even giving us a way out, and we can't even replenish our nutrition. I've long said that Black-hearted wolf's livestream can't be watched. It really can't be watched, but you guys just have to watch it. Type with both hands to prove your innocence. A group of male netizens were boiling, all of them howling on the screen, completely stimulated by such a scene. And the popularity of the livestream was also rising steadily, the number of viewers rising from 500,000 to 1 million, and then to 5 million, and the number of viewers was even rising steadily. As expected of the boss, this kind of hype is too brilliant. But just now, he actually pretended that he didn't want to live stream, pretending to be pretentious here, and almost got fooled. Chapter 185. Seeing so many netizens explode, Xia Ping's mouth twitched. He originally wanted to say a few words and then close the stream, but he didn't expect to be discovered by netizens with sharp eyes. Black-hearted wolf, what is this place? Why are there so many beautiful women in revealing clothes? Tell me honestly, are they your harem? A netizen asked. Xia Ping was speechless. This isn't my harem. This is Black Moon City. These women are just salespeople on the streets. They have nothing to do with me. He wanted to explain clearly. What? This is the legendary Black Moon City? Isn't this a place of evil, where the underworld gathers, a place outside the law? How did you end up in this city? A netizen was very shocked. He had also heard of Black Moon City's reputation. It could be said that this city had many legends that circulated on the internet, but there were not many who actually entered Black Moon City. Yeah, Black Moon City is very dangerous. It's said that there are a lot of underworld figures there, all of them fierce and evil, all of them have seen blood. Every night they open fire like firecrackers. It's very dangerous. You can't go out after midnight. Entering Black Moon City is no different from having half a foot in the gates of hell. Many netizens spoke out their own information about Black Moon City, all revealing their fear of Black Moon City. This was definitely a place that ordinary people could not set foot in. There were also some ordinary people who wanted to enter out of curiosity, but after entering they all ended up very badly. This also caused many people to fear that place like a poisonous snake, not daring to take a step in. This also made Black Moon City even more mysterious. None of you understand. Another netizen seemed to be very familiar with Black Moon City. Although this is a dangerous place outside the law, it is also a gathering place for nightclubs. It is a famous money-squandering den, attracting who knows how many wealthy martial artists to spend their money there. There are many beautiful women there, such as air hostesses, models, celebrities, nurses, doctors, teachers, and so on. I think that Black-Hearted Wolf made some money and wanted to enter Black Moon City to enjoy himself. He wants to find a prostitute. He directly stated his deduction, and instantly the group of netizens exploded. Holy shit, shameless Black-Hearted Wolf. I heard that this guy is only a high school student, but he actually traveled thousands of miles to Black Moon City just for the sake of prostitution. This is too absurd and shameless. Moreover, this bastard is still in his third year of high school. There's only 2 more months until the college entrance examination. Instead of studying hard and getting into a good university, he ran off to Black Moon City to harass people. What's wrong with young people nowadays? Even if your results are good, you can't do this. You're looking down on the college entrance exam. Is there any legal problem in this? She's only a high school student and she's going out to visit prostitutes. Hurry up and call the police to arrest her. Catch my ass. That's Black Moon City we're talking about. A place outside of the law. The Federation's laws can't control it at all. Awesome, I thought that Black-Hearted Wolf was only an 18-year-old young man, and that there was a limit to his experience, but I didn't expect him to be this powerful. Even Skywater City couldn't satisfy him, and he even developed to Black Moon City. Rabbits don't eat the grass near their burrows, but he ate all the grass near his burrow and started eating the grass in other places. He's hungry and can't be choosy. Many netizens discussed animatedly, and they were all in an uproar. Their faces were full of envy, jealousy, and hatred. Some people were even distressed. The current social atmosphere was too bad. Being so open as a high school student was too presumptuous. Everyone has misunderstood. I just came here to cultivate, not to do this kind of thing. Xia Ping explained. Cultivate my ass. You came to such a filthy place just to cultivate. Who are you lying to? Do you really think we're 3-year-old children? An uncle netizen said disdainfully, telling Xia Ping not to laugh at their intelligence. They were all 1,000-year-old foxes, so there was no need to lie to each other here. That's right, do you see those beauties on the street? They're all women who have lost their feet. Just give them money. You actually told me to cultivate here. What exactly do you want to cultivate? That's right. You see so many women who need you to save, and you still have the mood to cultivate? Cultivate my ass. Hurry up and pounce on them. I don't think Black-Hearted Wolf is lying. He's indeed here to cultivate, but it's to cultivate the 36 styles of the room. His goal is to pick up girls and be a pretty boy. Damn, he knows how to cultivate this kind of secret technique at such a young age. Amazing. Young people nowadays are amazing. A group of netizens peeled the silk from the cocoon and exposed Xia Ping's lies. All of them revealed looks of disdain. He had clearly gone to Black Moon City to have fun, but he was still pretending to be a little white rabbit here. Xia Ping felt that he was really too wronged. He clearly had no such thoughts, but the rumor spread, making it seem like he came to Black Moon City just to do some shady things. He coughed. Anyway, that's it. The live broadcast ends here. We'll talk again next time if there's a chance. With that, Xiaoping hung up the live broadcast and did not continue chatting. Otherwise, who knew how much more gossip would come out? But the group of netizens did not stop discussing. What's going on? He hung up after only a few minutes of live broadcast. Was he taken away by a beauty on the street? He must have gone to take a look. He's already come to a place like this, where would he have time to chat with you guys? Hurry up and do your business. Don't tell me you still want to stay here and chat? That makes a lot of sense. That damn black-hearted wolf. How can his life be so comfortable? After tonight, who knows how many beauties will be ruined by him and saved from the sea of suffering. The difference between people is really too big. There's no way to compare. Don't casually watch Black-Hearted Wolf's videos in the future. It's too immoral and nutritious. You can't keep up at all. I also want to go to Black Moon City to see the world. Seeing those street beauties, I won't be able to sleep tonight. Isn't that so? Before, I always thought I was a rich second generation with a rich family, but after seeing Black Moon City, I realized that I'm just a country bumpkin who has never seen the world at all. It's indeed an eye-opener. In the future, if I don't go to Black Moon City for a prostitute, I won't be able to say I'm an old driver. Many netizens discussed. The flow of this live broadcast rose steadily. When Xiaoping ended the broadcast, the number of viewers had already reached 30 million. Who knew how many people knew about this? Haha, I'm rich this time. Wang Dachui was wild with joy. With this live broadcast promotion, his video would definitely be able to further increase its popularity, letting countless people know about the television series he produced. He was also secretly impressed. His boss was really too amazing. Every move he made could cause such a great impact. Chapter 186. Tianshui City, a high-class apartment. With a snap, Qiushu's white and tender little hand crushed a titanium alloy drinking cup in her hand. Her eyes revealed anger as she stared at Xiaoping's live broadcast just now. She also saw the previous scene. From the twisted and miserable state of the titanium alloy drinking cup, it could be seen how angry the owner of the cup was. Damn it! Qiushu gritted her teeth. The college entrance examination is approaching, and he took more than a month off, not to cultivate, not to study seriously, but to go to Black Moon City to whore, to gamble. How can there be such a student in the world, too hateful? She was extremely angry. Originally, she thought that this Xiaoping took more than a month off to rush before the exam to cultivate in seclusion, but this could not be helped. After all, it was to study. Even if so many fans surrounded the door and harassed her, she endured it. But who would have thought that today she actually saw this bastard's live broadcast, and clearly saw that this guy actually went to Black Moon City to have sex? How absurd. There was nothing more absurd than this. Even if she had been a student for more than 10 years and a teacher for a few years, she had never seen such a thing. A dignified student took a leave of absence from school, not because of illness, not because of family matters, and not to cultivate in seclusion, but to enjoy and go to whore. As a teacher and also a class teacher, how could she not be angry? If others asked about this, they would think that it was her, Qiushu's, incompetence in education that caused the student to become like this. You'd better stay in Black Moon City and don't come back. Otherwise, once you come back, I will definitely make you look good. Qiushu gritted her teeth, and she was driven mad by Xiaoping's actions. If this guy was not punished, then the other students in the class would follow suit, and she did not know what kind of bad influence it would bring to the school and the students in the class. At this time, in a luxurious student apartment in Sholan High School, like a castle, more than a dozen girls also gathered together, including the pearl of Sholan High School, Nangong Wu. Did you hear? That shameless Xiaoping actually went to Black Moon City to have sex. It is simply shameless to the extreme. As a man, how can he be so low? A girl was indignant, her face flushed red, obviously very angry. This is too disgusting. Men are animals that only know how to think with the lower half of their bodies, no matter how talented they are. As expected, there isn't a single good man in the world. As the champion of the fighting tournament, that's such a lofty reputation, and he even defeated us. Yet, he doesn't know how to cherish it, and even ran off to a dirty place like Black Moon City. Sister Nangong, you must not get close to this shameless man. Otherwise, if you are targeted by him, we will be in trouble. We must list this bastard as one of the suspicious people who are forbidden to get close to Sholan High School. That's right. It's said that this bastard has had dozens of girlfriends. God knows how many women have been played by him. Some of them are pregnant, and he doesn't want to take responsibility. This kind of person should be dragged out and destroyed. The dozen or so girls clamored, feeling very angry about Xiaoping's trip to Black Moon City. They did not care what Xiaoping's true purpose for going to Black Moon City was. In short, according to this man's personality, he would definitely not do anything good. This is the best. Nangong Wu was also speechless. She had seen how low this guy's level was, but this bastard's bottom line was always getting lower and lower. He was practically trashed to the extreme. She felt that she definitely could not meet this bastard again in the future. Otherwise, who knew what would happen? At this time, Chu Rong and Zhang Yaru had also gathered together. They had also heard about this from the internet. The corners of their mouths twitched, and they were completely speechless. At this point, no matter what this guy did, they would not be surprised anymore. Don't care about that bastard. Zhang Yaru clenched her fists, her beautiful eyes revealing a raging fire. In short, in the remaining month, we must quickly increase our strength. We must get into Yanhuang University. That was her goal. Right, I believe that guy also doesn't know that we've joined a powerful martial arts organization. Chu Rong also nodded. With the support of the organization's resources, our improvement will definitely be faster than before. Very soon, we'll be able to catch up to this bastard's martial arts realm. Her beautiful eyes also surged with endless confidence. According to the talent these two had displayed in the Skywater City fighting competition, the two of them also received invitations from many martial arts organizations. In the end, the two of them chose to join an extremely famous martial arts organization called Cold Moon Palace. This was a super organization second only to the three giants of Yanhuang Planet, and it only recruited women. With the support of this martial arts organization's resources, they believed that even in the remaining month, they would still be able to improve at lightning speed, greatly increasing their chances of getting into Yanhuang University. This news was also known by Qin Muyang, Feng Hetong, Lu Liang, and other children of Tianshui City's aristocratic families. After hearing this news, their mouths also twitched. Damn, it's almost the college entrance exam. Instead of studying hard and cultivating in seclusion to increase his cultivation, he actually ran to Black Moon City to play around. What the hell is going on in his head? Being defeated by such a beast in human clothing, I can't accept it. I can't accept it at all. Why would the giant company recruit such a bastard? If he can enter the king realm, then who else can't? Damn it. Thinking of how I once knelt down and apologized to such a bastard, I can't accept it. This bastard is simply the worst. Who would ask for leave from school and run to Black Moon City to do that kind of thing? Many children of aristocratic families all cursed angrily. Thinking of how they once knelt down and apologized to such a bastard, they all felt ashamed. All of them gritted their teeth and wanted to work hard. They absolutely couldn't let this bastard still be above them, or else they wouldn't have the face to see others for the rest of their lives. Go play, continue to go whoring. Qin Muyang clenched his fists, his eyes revealing a trace of coldness. While you were playing with women and having fun everywhere, I was training hard, improving my martial cultivation, and entering the martial Dao extreme realm. Right now you are stronger than me, and I, Qin Muyang, am still not as good as you. But in the future, 3 years later, 10 years later, I, Qin Muyang, will definitely far surpass you and advance to the king realm. At that time I will definitely return the humiliation of that night to you one by one. Remember this. He clenched his teeth, the raging flames of war surging in his heart. Qin Muyang only felt secretly happy towards that bastard's self-abandonment. Taking advantage of that guy's moment of pride and arrogance, he took the opportunity to train and far surpass Xia Ping. Chapter 187. At this time, Xia Ping did not know what was happening in Tianshui City. He put on his mask and quickly moved towards the Black Moon Tower. Soon, he arrived at the entrance of the Black Moon Tower. As soon as he arrived at the entrance, he immediately saw a huge stone sculpture of a 9-headed golden eagle. It was almost 30 meters tall and had 9 heads. Each of its eyes was staring at him. In an instant, A terrifying murderous aura covered Xiaoping's entire body. It was as if the entire world had fallen into endless darkness. It was as if he was in the depths of the universe, isolated and helpless. It was not only Xiaoping who was affected. The surrounding martial artists who entered the Black Moon Tower all felt this aura. Instantly, this group of people turned deathly pale. Some of them even had their legs trembling and collapsed to the ground. Don't look at it. It was a middle-aged man dressed in black. His face was filled with pressure, and he seemed to be a warrior realm expert. This is the sculpture of the King Realm monster, the nine-headed golden eagle. It contains the aura of a King Realm expert. If you dare to look at it, you will be severely injured in an instant and your mind will be damaged. Hearing this, everyone avoided the nine-headed golden eagle's eyes. They also felt that the pressure on them had lessened. As expected, if they did not fight it, the aura from its body would not be transmitted to them. It's just a sculpture. Why is it so powerful? Someone asked in confusion. The middle-aged man shook his head. Fear appeared in his eyes. It's not just a sculpture. The eyes on the sculpture are the eyes of a real nine-headed golden eagle. This is a King Realm expert. The Black Moon King fought with it for 3 days and 3 nights before he killed it. In order to show off his achievements and intimidate everyone, he merged the nine-headed golden eagle's eyes into the sculpture. Therefore, this sculpture also contains the powerful aura of a King Realm monster. Everyone was shocked. Just to show off and intimidate everyone, the Black Moon Tower had actually placed the eyes of a real King Realm monster at the entrance. How shocking was this? Just these eyes alone were worth more than 50 billion federal coins. They were priceless. Even if one had the money, they would not be able to buy them. Amazing! Xiaoping sensed the imposing aura of the stone statue as well. When compared to this King Realm monster, the gap between him and it was truly too huge. It was simply like the difference between the heavens and the earth. If he really faced a King Realm monster, then that monster would probably only need a single breath of time to instantly annihilate him. However, he only sighed. On the road of cultivation, he was only a rookie who had just started. He shook his head and walked towards the Black Moon Tower. As soon as he entered the Black Moon Tower, he immediately saw that the area of the first floor was extremely large. It was practically boundless. Many strong martial artists appeared in this place, going in and out. It was very lively. The room was surrounded by silver-white metallic walls, giving off a sci-fi vibe. However, Xiaoping wasn't interested in looking around. He went straight to the front desk. A female receptionist stood in front of the front desk. She smiled and said to Xiaoping, "Sir, how can I help you?" "I want to register here," Xiaoping said in a deep voice. Gu Peng had already told him most of the things about entering the Black Moon Tower. If he wanted to undergo the trial in the Black Moon Tower, he had to do a simple registration at this place. "Yes, sir." The female receptionist nodded and tapped lightly. With a beep, a virtual page immediately appeared in front of Xiaoping. She then said, "Please fill in your identity information here." Xiaoping glanced at it casually, then randomly filled in some fake information. Anyway, this kind of information wouldn't be verified by the other party. It was just a process. When he filled in the name column, he paused for a moment, then finally wrote the word, Huang. Okay. When the female receptionist saw that Xiaoping had finished filling in the information, she immediately smiled. "Congratulations, Huang. You have become the 375,638,953 member of the Black Moon Tower. This is your membership card, please keep it." With that, she took out a black card from her body. On it was a black moon. Xiaoping nodded and reached out to take the black card. He knew that if he wanted to move freely in the Black Moon Tower and undergo the trial, he needed this black card. "Oh yes, sir." The female receptionist then said, "May I know which level of trial you would like to choose? Entry level, easy level, or hard level? Our rates are like this. For the trial below the martial warrior realm, the entry level costs 10,000 federal coins, the easy level costs 100,000, the hard level costs 1 million, and the nightmare level costs 10 million federal coins. For the martial master realm trial, no matter the difficulty, it will cost at least 100 million federal coins. For the master realm trial, it will cost 1 billion federal coins. This was clearly robbery. Hearing this, Xiaoping couldn't help but sigh. Just one trial would cost 10,000 federal coins. If it was the nightmare level, it would cost 10 million federal coins. If this wasn't robbery, what was? For the trial above the martial master realm, it was even more terrifying. It could easily cost up to 100 million. If tens of thousands of martial artists came to the Black Moon Tower to participate in the trial, then the money earned every day would be an astronomical figure. Just the money collected would be enough to rival a country. Too expensive. A young man in white could not help but exclaim. This was also his first time coming to the Black Moon Tower. He didn't think that just a simple trial would cost him 10,000 federal coins. One had to know that even if he went to a prostitute and found a beautiful woman, it would only cost 3,000 federal coins a night. If you think it's too expensive, you can choose not to come. The female receptionist looked at the young man with disdain, as if she was looking at a pauper. Damn it! The young man in white's face turned green. He was extremely angry. Shut up! A middle-aged man beside him grabbed his arm and said in a deep voice, Don't think it's too expensive. There's naturally a reason why it's expensive. There's a reason to rip people off? The young man in white was very unconvinced. The middle-aged man shook his head. You don't know the mysteries of the Black Moon Tower, so that's why you think so. In reality, even if it's incomparably expensive, countless martial artists come one after another. Do you know why? Why? The man in white did not understand. Xiaoping also blinked and looked at the middle-aged man's answer. It's very simple. The middle-aged man said in a deep voice, because the Black Moon Tower has a top-notch martial arts simulation space. It can simulate countless dangerous environments in the world, simulate all kinds of tyrannical monsters in the world, and simulate all kinds of powerful martial arts experts. Through this space trial, you can fight with the world's top experts. You can fight with the world's most ferocious monsters. You can also experience all kinds of dangerous environments in the world and gain a lot of combat experience. Chapter 188. So that was it. Hearing this, Xiaoping could not help but nod. This Black Moon Tower was not just a tower of trials. For countless warriors, it was a tower of training, an extremely important training ground. After all, it was not so easy to fight with top experts. Even if you challenged them, they would not care. If you went out into the wild and fought with terrifying monsters, one careless move and you would die there, becoming food for the monsters. This was a true battle of life and death. There was no room for carelessness. But in Black Moon Tower it was different. As long as he spent some money, he could enter the martial path simulation space and obtain the chance to fight with many top-class experts and a large number of monsters. He could gain a lot of fighting experience, and it was very beneficial to his martial cultivation. Furthermore, he would not die. Spending only a few million federal coins was really worth it. Because of this, cultivators from all over the world came to the Black Moon Tower to train. Many cultivators even treated this place as their own training ground. This also caused Black Moon City to be extremely prosperous, with many strong warriors. Don't chat here. Have you decided what level of trial you want to participate in? If you haven't made up your mind, then go to the side. There are other people waiting for you, the female receptionist said impatiently. Xiaoping thought about it and said, I want to try the nightmare level trial. What? Not only the female receptionist, but even the people who heard this were all dumbfounded, as if they could not believe what Xiaoping said. Are you serious? The female receptionist looked at Xiaoping dumbfounded. The nightmare level trial is a test of life and death. The number of people who passed it in the past hundreds of years can be counted on one hand. In reality, even if it is the easy level, the entry-level trial is enough to make countless genius warriors cry, not to mention the hard level. Only monstrous warriors are qualified to pass it. The others nodded. They were regular customers of Black Moon Tower and naturally knew how terrifying the Black Moon Tower trial was. Just the entry-level trial was enough to stump a large number of warriors. Those who could pass the entry-level trial were genius warriors, enough to be invited by countless martial arts organizations. If they could pass the hard level, it would not be a problem to join the giant company or the three giants of the world. But this kid dared to say he wanted to try the nightmare level. Was he crazy? That's right. It's the nightmare trial, Xiaoping said confidently. Hearing this, the female receptionist hesitantly looked at Xiaoping and said, "The cost of participating in the nightmare trial below the martial warrior realm is 10 million federal coins. It's okay. I don't have anything else, but I have a lot of money." Xiaoping faintly smiled and immediately took out a card. This was the anonymous credit card given to him by the giant company. This credit card was bound to Xiaoping's bank account limit, but it was strictly encrypted. No one could use technical means to crack his true identity and trace his origins. So that's how it is. This kid is rich. Damn, that makes sense. This guy is stupid but rich. Occasionally, there are such rich people who want to try out the nightmare difficulty and see the world, so they go and play. Damn it, why didn't they give it to me if they had that kind of money? They're just giving money to the Black Moon Tower. That's like throwing money down the drain. The group of people looked at Xiaoping with envy, jealousy, and hatred. All of them revealed a look of sudden realization. If the other party was rich and did not care about the cost of the trial, then it was completely understandable. Okay. The female receptionist also revealed a look of sudden realization. She reached out and took Xiaoping's credit card. Since the other party was stupid but had a lot of money, then she had no reason to stop him. With a beep, 10 million federal coins were transferred over. She then said, "Oh right, your nightmare trial is set to be held at 12 o'clock tomorrow morning. Please arrive on time." Because there were too many martial artists who came here to participate in the trial, everyone needed to make a reservation in advance. As for the nightmare trial, there were not many people who came, so they only needed to wait for one night. As for the other trials, waiting for a few days was very normal. Okay. Xiaoping took the credit card and turned to leave. "Brother, wait." At this time, a figure came from afar. Then, a golden-haired man walked over and greeted Xiaoping enthusiastically. There were also 3 or 4 young men behind him, who seemed to be his followers. When the surrounding people saw these people appear, they all frowned, as if they were very familiar with these people. They all moved away, as if they did not want to come into contact with these people. This kid has actually been targeted by Frenzied Blade He-jun. This kid is out of luck. Someone on the side chuckled, as if he was watching a good show, and did not step forward to stop them. "What is it?" Xiaoping stopped and looked at the golden-haired man and the others with a puzzled expression. "My name is He-jun," the golden-haired man introduced himself with a face full of enthusiasm. "I'm a swordsman from the G continent. I came to the Black Moon Tower because of its reputation. It is said that there are countless genius martial artists in the Yang continent, and the experts are as numerous as the clouds. Their combat strength is tyrannical, and I wonder how much stronger they are than the other continents. And brother, you actually dare to challenge the nightmare trial. Just this courage alone is incomparable to others. Without a doubt, brother, you must be such a powerful martial artist. So I really want to spar with you and increase my combat experience. I wonder if you can fulfill my invitation?" He revealed a face full of desire. "You have a good eye. I am indeed a famous genius martial artist in the Yang continent. Everyone in my hometown thinks that I will be a monster in the King realm in the future." Xiaoping had a face full of emotion. "I have always kept a low profile and concealed myself deeply, but I didn't expect you to see through me with a glance. It seems that geniuses are geniuses no matter what, they can't be concealed." He put his hands behind his back, looked up at the sky and sighed, and revealed a lonely look as if he was seeking defeat. "Conceal my ass." Hearing this, the corners of the surrounding people's mouths twitched. "You are a famous genius martial artist in the Yang continent. A monster in the future. Why can't they see through you? Of the demonic geniuses with such talent, which of them did not keep a low profile or had an arrogant expression, disdaining to converse with ordinary people? True genius cultivators did not need to brag about themselves. Naturally, there would be a group of people who would come up to flatter them. Those who boast about themselves are basically half-baked. It was obvious that this guy was such a person. The golden-haired man didn't expect that after he casually flattered him, this brat would take advantage of it and believe it to be true. He even boasted about himself and was extremely thick-skinned. He looked at this guy like he was looking at a fool. Chapter 189. I didn't expect you to be so famous in your hometown. You're said to be a future king. Looks like you really are a genius. It's my good fortune to meet you. He-jun suppressed his disgust and pretended to flatter him. His attitude was very enthusiastic. Since that's the case, why don't we have a match at the Black Moon Tower's arena? The wager doesn't need to be too big. Just 50 million federal coins will do. He extended 5 fingers with a treacherous expression. Everyone else was shocked. They immediately saw through He-jun's evil intentions. An ordinary martial artist's annual income was only 50 to 60 million federal coins. This included eating, drinking, and buying all kinds of pills to assist in cultivation. They even had to buy all kinds of powerful equipment. It would be good if they had 1/5 of that money left. Now, 50 million federal coins was the equivalent of 2 to 3 years of a martial warrior's income. He-jun. Before Xiaoping could speak, a blue-haired young man suddenly rushed out with a righteous expression. You're too much. You're trying to trick a newbie again. He's a rookie who has just arrived at the Black Moon Tower. He doesn't have much battle experience, but you actually invited him to participate in an arena duel with you, and even placed a huge bet. You're obviously trying to cheat him of his money. Do you have any shame? He looked angrily at the golden-haired man. Wuxian, it's you again. You want to ruin my business? Do you want to die? Seeing the blue-haired man appear, He-jun's expression turned ugly. He didn't expect this to happen. The blue-haired man sneered. You're the one who wants to die. Don't think I don't know what you're doing here. You often appear near the Black Moon Tower, bullying newbies and looking for fish. Usually, newbies with no experience are tricked by you bastards into fighting in the arena. Not only do they lose, but they also lose a lot of money. It's fine if I didn't see it in the past, but now that I've seen it, I won't allow you to trick newbies. Everyone nodded. This was the treachery of the golden-haired man. Because fighting was forbidden near the Black Moon Tower, there was a strict order. Whoever dared to fight would offend the Black Moon King. However, some people didn't dare to bully him in the open, but they could still do it in the dark. Some of the newcomers who had just arrived at the Black Moon Tower did not know how strong they were. They thought that since everyone was an expert of the same realm, even if there was a slight difference, it would not be too big. Thus, they were hopeful that they would not lose and would be able to defeat these veterans. What they did not know was that the warriors who had been trained in the Black Moon Tower were much stronger than the warriors who had not been trained before. Just their battle experience was not something that those rookies could compare to. Once in the ring, the rookies could only admit defeat. Some were even beaten to the point of kneeling and begging for mercy. How is this cheating? The golden-haired man, He-jun, sneered. This brother and I are both experts in the first heaven of the martial artist realm. Our realms are the same. No matter how we fight, we won't let this brother suffer. Besides, the bet is only 50 million federal coins. Any random martial arts organization would have a yearly salary of more than that. Aren't you being a bit nosy? He looked at Wu Zhan with contempt. You. Wu Zhan was infuriated. He also knew that 50 million federal coins was not a lot to a martial artist, but it was not a small amount either. They could easily take it out with a bit of effort. Because of this, He-jun's scams had succeeded time and time again. Some of the victims were even too embarrassed to speak up, causing He-jun and the others to become more and more arrogant. That's right. At this time, Xiaoping also stood up. It's only 50 million federal coins. This is a small amount of money. I don't care about it at all. You are indeed a bit nosy. He said to the blue-haired man, Wu Zhan. What? Hearing this, the blue-haired man, Wu Zhan, was stunned. He was trying to persuade this kid out of goodwill so that this bastard would not be fooled, but this bastard said that he was being nosy. This was the first time he had heard of such a thing. Yes, I am being nosy, Xiaoping said disdainfully. We are both martial artists at the first level of the martial artist realm. You said that he was taking advantage of me by fighting me, which means that he thinks that I am no match for this brother. You are clearly looking down on me. How can I tolerate this? I am not bragging, but in my hometown I can fight 10 experts of the same level. No one is a match for me. This brother is giving me money by fighting me. I am taking advantage of him, but you actually came to stop me, blocking my path to wealth. If this is not nosy, then what is nosy? He stretched out 10 fingers. This. Wu Zhan was dumbfounded and did not know what to say. The blonde man, He-jun, was also a little confused. This was the first time he had seen a victim so protective of him. How many years had it been? He had not felt such warmth. This was a good person, just a little stupid. However, it was impossible for him to stop swindling people. There was no other reason other than the lack of money. Bragging, this kid continues to brag. He can fight 10 experts of the same level. Why can't he go to heaven? I was kind enough to dissuade him from being deceived, but he actually scolded me for being nosy. This is too hateful. He deserves to be deceived. Is there any justice in this world if this kind of person is not deceived? In the past, I did not know why people were so easily deceived, but after seeing this brother's IQ, I know why there are so many swindlers in the world. There are too many fools and there are not enough swindlers. Looking at this young man, a person who graduated from primary school, suddenly feels superior in terms of IQ. A typical example of helping a swindler count the money after being deceived. The surrounding people were talking about it. Everyone looked at Xia Ping as if they were looking at a fool. They could not imagine how there could be such a stupid person in the world. However, low IQ was a terminal illness that could not be cured. The blonde man, He-jun, was immediately overjoyed. Meeting such a rich fool was definitely their luck today. Was there anyone more adorable than this kind of person in the world? If he did not swindle all the money he had, he would be letting down this great opportunity that God had given him. Brother, this matter should not be delayed. Why don't we start a gambling battle? He-jun immediately said. He wanted to sign a contract with Xia Ping, lest this kid suddenly come to his senses. If that happened, the cooked duck would fly away. A gambling battle is fine. Xia Ping nodded. But 50 million federal coins is too little. It's only the price of my usual meal. It's not satisfying. If you want to bet, let's bet big. 400 million federal coins, what do you think? Chapter 190. 400 million. Not only He-jun but everyone else was stunned as well. Even if a martial warrior wanted to earn 400 million, it would take them 6 to 7 years to do so. Furthermore, they would not need to eat or drink and could not spend any money. It could be said that this was a huge sum of money. If it was not for the fact that both parties had a death grudge and wanted to make the other party bankrupt, or if it was a fight between martial masters and above, they would not take out such a large sum of money. To take out 400 million as a wager for an ordinary match was simply unheard of. 400 million? He-jun squinted his eyes and stared at Xia Ping. His eyes were deep, making it impossible to tell what he was thinking. Even the 3 or 4 followers behind him were extremely shocked, as if they could not believe that Xia Ping would propose such a wager. The blue-haired Wu Zhan's eyes also flickered, as if he was very surprised by Xia Ping's actions. It was a little confusing. If this kid was stupid, why was he so daring? Betting 400 million in one go, was he not afraid of losing? That's right, 400 million. Xia Ping said with a smile. If you want to bet, bet big. What's the point of betting small? Of course, if you don't dare to, then forget it and pretend that this never happened. Who doesn't dare to bet? Hearing this, He-jun laughed coldly. Isn't it just 400 million? It's nothing. I'll bet with you. His tone was very firm, and it was obvious that he was serious. He-jun. The 4 people behind him were shocked. They looked at He-jun as if they wanted to stop him. After all, this amount was too large. If he lost, the consequences would be unimaginable. He-jun waved his hand and said confidently, "Don't worry, I won't lose." Hearing this, the 4 young people could not help but relax. Indeed, with He-jun's strength, after training at the Black Moon Tower for several months, he was no longer a match for cultivators of the same level. Against a rookie who had just arrived at the Black Moon Tower, this was a piece of cake. At this point, he took out his phone and tapped it lightly. A virtual projection of a male appeared. With a clap, he tapped it lightly and the virtual projection appeared in front of Xia Ping. This is a letter of challenge from me. He-jun smiled. If we accept this challenge, we can use the arena at the Black Moon Tower to fight. Furthermore, each person will need to transfer 400 million into the Black Moon Tower's account. It will act as the middleman, and the money will be transferred to whoever wins. This way, it will be absolutely fair and no one can deny it. Within the Black Moon Tower, challenges between martial artists were extremely common. It had long formed a series of mature procedures. It's nothing. Xiaoping nodded and immediately signed the contract. At the same time, he used his credit card to transfer 400 million to the Black Moon Tower's account. And the contract was established. Very good. He-jun also transferred the money over, and a smile appeared on his face. The duel will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, on the dueling platform on the second floor of the Black Moon Tower. I will be waiting for you then. He also wanted the duel to start immediately, but there were just too many martial artists in the Black Moon Tower. Almost every day, there would be martial artists dueling. If one wanted to use this arena, they would have to queue up. It was impossible to start immediately. After that, he turned around and left with a few of his men. Too impulsive. Wu Zhen shook his head and sighed. He was very speechless. His efforts were all wasted. The bet had already been signed, and no one could deny it. It could be said that this kid's loss of 400 million was certain. There was no doubt about it. But it was too late to say anything now. Even if he wanted to go back now, it was impossible. Earning 400 million in one go, this feeling is very good. It seems that this Black Moon City is my treasure land. Xiaoping smiled as he watched He-jun and the others leave. He was in a very good mood. The other party wanted to cheat his money, so how could he not want to cheat the other party's money? This He-jun thought that after training in the Black Moon Tower for a few months, his combat power was far superior to his peers, but that was only for ordinary martial artists. This did not include him, Xiaoping. Xiaoping, who cultivated the Northern Dark Body Protection Art, the Pure Yang Immortal Art, and even the 10,000 Beasts Fist, was strong enough to rival the second heaven of the martial disciple realm. What was a mere He-jun? Since he wanted to give him money, why should he refuse? And the nightmare trial would only start tomorrow. After dealing with this guy, it would not be too late to slowly explore the mysteries of the Black Moon Tower. Thinking of this, Xiaoping left the Black Moon Tower and found a nearby hotel to rest. At this time, He-jun and the others also left the Black Moon Tower. Boss, isn't it a bit too rash to duel with that kid like this? After leaving the Black Moon Tower, a young man said hesitantly, "This kid dared to agree to your duel so arrogantly, and even increased the amount to 400 million federal coins. I think it's unusual. Maybe this guy is pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger." He was very cautious. After all, no one in this world was a fool. Even if they thought that the other party might be a fish in the water at first, but when the bet reached a certain height, they did not think so. "What are you afraid of?" He-jun sneered. "He wants to plot against me when I don't want to plot against him. Why do you think I dare to agree to this bet? There is no other reason than that I have absolute strength. I can cut that kid into meat sauce with one knife." Boom! As soon as his voice fell, a terrifying knife aura erupted from his body, and a terrifying crack suddenly appeared on the cement floor. The knife intent soared into the sky, causing several of his subordinates to shiver as if there was a blade on their backs. "No way, boss, you actually advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. When did this happen?" Several of his subordinates were shocked and looked at their boss in disbelief. They knew that after advancing to the martial warrior realm, it was very difficult to clear an acupoint and advance to the first heaven. During this process, a large number of heavenly treasures were required. Some people might not even be able to clear an acupoint even after spending 10 years. But their boss actually advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm without a sound. This was simply incredible. "Haha, I advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm 4 or 5 days ago." He-jun clenched his fists, but I kept a low profile and did not say anything. My purpose was to amaze the world with a brilliant feat and cheat a sum of money. I did not expect this sucker to come to me personally, so I can't be blamed. But I was able to advance so quickly thanks to the trial in the Black Moon Tower. If I did not fight with so many strong people, absorb the battle experience between life and death, and comprehend the martial way, I would not have advanced so quickly. Sure enough, leaving my hometown and coming to Black Moon City was the right choice. If I stayed in my hometown, I estimated that even after spending 10 years, I would still be at the first heaven of the martial warrior realm. He clenched his fists, feeling extremely emotional. Of course, he was able to advance to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm so quickly because of the help of a benefactor. Just relying on the trial in the Black Moon Tower was far from enough for him to advance so quickly. Great, in this way it will be hard for that kid not to lose. We can earn another 400 million federal coins. Now, boss's advancement to the third heaven of the martial warrior realm is just around the corner. This kid is simply the boy who gives money away. Chapter 191. The next morning, Xiaoping woke up in the hotel room. He sat cross-legged on the white bed, slowly opened his eyes and exhaled. After a night of meditation and cultivation, he felt that the true qi in his body had grown a little stronger, and the strength of his body had grown a little stronger. He was getting stronger every second. The speed of improvement is still too slow. Xiaoping clenched his fists. The martial warrior realm had 9 layers, and each layer was extremely powerful. If he wanted to advance to the next layer, he had to open up an acupoint so that he could contain more qi and become more powerful. But to open up an acupoint was too difficult. Without pills, without the help of all kinds of treasures, even a genius would have to spend several years to strengthen the qi in his body, open up an acupoint and advance to the next layer. This battle is an opportunity. Xiaoping's eyes flashed. If I win this time, I will get 400 million. With this money, I can buy all kinds of precious pills to assist in cultivation. He also knew that pills that could assist in the cultivation of the martial warrior realm were very precious and expensive, but no matter how expensive they were, 400 million federal coins was enough for him to squander for a period of time. Whoosh! Thinking of this, Xiaoping immediately got up and went to the Black Moon Tower, because the time for the duel was almost up. And the matter of Xiaoping and He Jun had also spread like wildfire. Although there were duels between martial artists of the Black Moon Tower every day, a wager involving 400 million was extremely rare, and could be considered a major event. Did you hear? A rookie who just came to the Black Moon Tower actually went against Frenzied Blade, He Jun, and bet 400 million. Frenzied Blade He Jun? Isn't that kid a bastard who specializes in bullying rookies? Which unlucky guy was targeted and foolishly bet 400 million? This time it's going to cost him a lot. I heard that the kid's name is Huang. He's stupid but has a lot of money. Just to test the nightmare level trial, he lost 10 million federal coins without even frowning. Damn it, why didn't I meet such a sucker? He Jun has made a lot of money this time. That's right, 400 million. How long would it take for us to earn that much? But he got it in just one duel. Let's go and watch the show. Maybe we can find a chance to extort that sucker and make a fortune. Many cultivators were discussing this duel spiritedly. They were all very interested in this duel, and all of them rushed over to watch the excitement. Some of them even harbored evil intentions. They took a fancy to Huang's low intelligence and wanted to find an opportunity to extort a sum of money from him. At this time, Xiaoping, under the guidance of the staff of the Black Moon Tower, came to a room on the second floor of the Black Moon Tower. This was a vast training hall about the size of a football field. It was incomparably spacious with nothing in it. He Jun was the only one standing on the other side. This is the dueling platform? Xiaoping looked around suspiciously. This dueling platform was very different from what he had imagined. There were no spectator seats, nor was there an arena. It was just an empty room. That's right, this is the dueling platform. He Jun smiled but didn't explain. He only asked, do you like plains, valleys, or mountain peaks? Just pick one. I like the plains, Xiaoping replied casually. He Jun nodded and said, choose. The battlefield is the plains. Boom, as soon as he finished speaking, the entire training hall underwent a huge change. The space distorted, and in an instant, the surroundings turned into a grassland. The grass on the ground was lush and green, reaching knee-high. A breeze blew from afar, carrying with it the fresh smell of soil. There were even a few cows and sheep quietly eating grass in the corner, as if they were on a grassland. This. Xiaoping's eyes flashed. He was very surprised. In just an instant, the training hall had turned into a grassland. This change was really incredible. Moreover, he could feel that the grass, the cows and sheep, and the black soil on the ground were extremely real. He couldn't feel any difference from reality at all. Amazing, right? This is the martial arts simulation space of the Black Moon Tower. He Jun said proudly, as long as you want any environment, it can convert energy and immediately simulate it. Moreover, the degree of realism is close to 99%, no different from reality. This kind of top-notch technology is currently impossible on the Yanhuang star. Even if we analyze it, we can't analyze it. Only the technology of the ancient ruins can create such a miracle. His tone was very emotional. Hearing this, Xiaping was very shocked. These real scenes were just simulated by a massive energy. How on earth was this done? It was really incredible. It was no wonder that the current technology of the Yanhuang star couldn't create it. This kind of power was close to that of a god and extremely mysterious. A miracle is indeed a miracle, but this kind of thing has nothing to do with our duel today. He-jun stared at Xiaping, staring at him. I will defeat you as soon as possible and get 400 million federal coins. But don't worry, I will try to be gentle so that you don't feel too much pain. Defeat me as soon as possible. Hearing this, Xiaping suddenly laughed. Before, you admired me and wanted to duel with me to absorb some combat experience. Now you've revealed your true colors. You want to defeat me? Sure enough, you are not a fool. The fact that you dare to propose a bet of 400 million is enough to prove that you are strong and confident in yourself. Otherwise, how would you dare to make such a request? He-jun took out a black broadsword from his body, and his whole body exuded a terrifying saber aura. He was like a fierce beast with red eyes that made people shudder. But how do you know how strong I, He-jun, am? Staying in the Black Moon Tower for a few months is equivalent to cultivating for several years in the outside world. The experience gained from here is far from what the outside martial artist can compare. Maybe in your hometown you are indeed a little capable and talented, but here in the Black Moon Tower, you are just a rookie and not qualified at all. But it doesn't matter. Today, I will teach you that the huge difference between a true combat elite and a rookie is not a gap that can be made up for by bragging. His tone was extremely arrogant, and he did not take Xiaping seriously at all, as if he was looking at an ant. As soon as his voice fell, there was a bang. The surrounding space immediately sounded with a mechanical voice, resounding through the surrounding space. Duel begin. Boom! In an instant, He-jun's body suddenly moved. In an instant he crossed more than 10 meters, ignoring the space around him. He held a broadsword in his hand, and his whole person was like a humanoid beast. His black blade cut through the air, containing a terrible saber aura. It tore through the air and made a buzzing sound. The air also produced a trace of ripple, and the ripple spread in all directions. Chapter 192. Rumble. When He-jun's blade came slashing down, it immediately set off a gust of wind. True chi was released, forming a terrifying storm. Every stream of air was like a blade, with extremely terrifying lethality. Once swept by this extremely terrifying gust of wind, one's body would immediately be torn apart and turned into meat paste. This scene was also recorded by the dueling room's high-definition cameras and transmitted in all directions. Anyone who was paying attention to this duel could see it on the big screen of the Black Moon Tower. It could even be transmitted to the internet so that those who were paying attention to the duel could see it. Amazing, as expected of the wild blade He-jun. This wild wind blade technique has already been cultivated to the realm of perfection. With one slash it will form hundreds of wind blades. No warrior can take it head-on, or else they will die without a burial. That kid is finished. He won't be able to take even one slash. Many of the spectators were discussing, shaking their heads and sighing. They thought that the kid would lose for sure. Facing such a powerful blade technique, this rookie had no chance of winning. He actually ran to a duel? In the distance, on a spaceship in the Black Moon City airport, Gupeng was also watching the duel through the surveillance video. He was speechless. Although on the surface he did not interfere with Xiaping's trial, in reality, he was always paying attention. He wanted to see what ability this young man who was favored by his master had. But how could he have imagined that once this kid entered the Black Moon Tower, he would start to stir up trouble? He actually went to a duel with someone betting 400 million, and made it known to everyone. Fine, let me see what you're capable of. Gupeng stared at the screen watching the duel. And at the moment when He-jun made his move, Xiaping also made his move. He took a step forward and punched out. In an instant he used the profound meaning of the 5 forms fist, 5 forms as one. This punch was like a shark rushing out of the calm sea. emitting the aura of a one-hit kill. True chi gathered and wrapped around the fist, emitting a white light that contained tyrannical power. Leopard fist, tiger fist, crane fist, snake fist, and dragon fist. The pinnacle of the 5 fist technique's profound meanings merged together. Countless kinds of forces merged and then exploded in an instant. This kind of power was like a volcanic explosion. Bang! In just an instant the fist blasted out, exploding the air. Hee-jun's blade chi storm was crushed inch by inch, destroyed, and passed through the air. What? Hee-jun was shocked. How could he have imagined that this kid's fist technique would be so terrifying? It had already reached the pinnacle of perfection, and the profound meaning of the 5 forms fist was displayed to the fullest. The fist energy was terrifying. With a boom, this force crashed onto the tip of his black saber, producing a tidal wave of force that sent him flying. He retreated more than 10 steps, and even the webbing between his thumb and forefinger was numb. Hee-jun, as if he could not believe that this kid had such strength. The difference between an elite and a rookie? You dare say that I'm not qualified and want to teach me a lesson? Is this how you treat me? Seems like you're only a so-so. Xiaoping looked at Hee-jun indifferently and said, "You're good at talking big. But when it comes to fighting, you don't have any ability. Junin of Jun I come of. Don't be too arrogant in the future." Hearing these words, Hee-jun was so angry that his nose was crooked. His lungs felt like they were about to explode, and his face was flushed red. It was as if he had been slapped a dozen times in public, and he felt intense pain. A rookie who just came to the Black Moon Tower, who had just advanced to the first heaven of the martial warrior realm, actually dared to teach him not to be too arrogant. Who is the real arrogant one? This bastard is too arrogant. Huang! Hee-jun roared, "I was just testing my strength. I was careless and let you win by 1 move. How dare you be so arrogant and look down on me? You really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. I'll let you know who is the real strong one." Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, an even more terrifying aura surged from his body. It was at least twice as tyrannical as before. As he released his genuine chi, cracks appeared on the ground. Kacha! 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 A gale surged and dust billowed. No way, the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. Hee-jun has advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. This kid is dead. He has advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm and opened the second acupoint. His genuine chi is more than twice as strong. Whether it is strength, speed, or genuine chi, Hee-jun is superior to this kid. It would be strange if he didn't win. Hee-jun is pretending to be weak. I didn't expect him to hide his strength so deeply. He has advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. It's really amazing. No wonder Hee-jun dared to agree to the 400 million challenge. With such strength, how could he lose? It's also this kid's fault for being too arrogant. He thinks he has some ability, so he considers everyone beneath his notice. He doesn't know that the Black Moon Tower is a place where there are many hidden dragons and crouching tigers. Any one of them is a genius. How can a country bumpkin's son compare to him? Losing 400 million can be considered a lesson for him. I guess he won't dare to be so arrogant in the future. Seeing this scene, many of the audience were in an uproar. They didn't expect Hee-jun to have the strength of the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. His combat power was suddenly doubled. If there was a little gap between Hee-jun and Xiaoping before, then it was completely crushing now. It was not a joke that the second heaven of the martial warrior realm was stronger than the first heaven. Whether it was strength, speed, or the strength of genuine chi, the second heaven of the martial warrior realm was above the first heaven. Huang! Hee-jun sneered. You dare to tell me that there is always someone better than you? You are the one who should understand this truth the most. A little rookie dares to be so arrogant. He simply doesn't know his place. I am an expert of the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. Do you know that the second heaven of the martial warrior realm? With 2 acupoints opened, my genuine chi is twice as strong. I can fight 10 rookies like you. I was low-key just now because I wanted to give you face. That's why I didn't kill you. But you don't want to give me face. You can't blame me for this. Whoosh! As soon as his voice fell, Hee-jun immediately moved. He waved the black broadsword on his body with a terrifying momentum like a mountain. The second move of the Gale Saber technique, Sandstorm Wind Transition. This move was more than several times more powerful than the first move. This was the real storm. Hundreds of saber chi condensed and rotated crazily, forming a storm. At the same time, this gale carried the endless sand on the ground, blowing up the grass and soil. Every grain of sand moved extremely quickly under the powerful whirlwind, and it was like a bullet. Once it was hit, it would immediately leave a bloody hole in it. This was the real killer move of the gale saber technique. Chapter 193. Amazing! This frenzied blade He-jun is incredible. It seems that he has already grasped the true essence of the gale blade technique. Even if he goes out into the wilderness, he can still survive and kill countless monsters. In time, it might not be impossible for him to become a blade grandmaster. A member of the audience had a solemn expression as he stared at He-jun's blade technique. He is indeed amazing. Although this He-jun is despicable and often extorts rookies, I have to say that he is indeed a genius in blade techniques. He cannot be underestimated. One slash and hundreds of blade energies formed a gale. It is impossible to grasp such a blade technique without at least 10 years. This young man called Huang is really unlucky. He actually met He-jun? I guess he will have a painful memory this time. Not to mention Huang, even if it was another expert in the second sky of the martial artist realm, not many would be able to defeat He-jun. Many members of the audience were discussing among themselves. They were all shocked by the gale blade technique that He-jun used. This already had a trace of the essence of a blade master. In time it would be quite incredible. This He-jun is not simple. When Gu Peng saw this scene, he could not help but secretly nod his head. He had to admit that this He-jun had some talent. However, he still paid attention to Xia Ping. He wanted to know what ability this kid had. To be chosen by his master and invited to join the giant company, it was not as simple as it looked. Go and die. He-jun shouted angrily. When his aura rose to the peak, he slashed out with his blade. Countless blade energies completely enveloped Xia Ping's body, leaving him nowhere to escape. Not bad blade technique, but that's all. Seeing the other party's blade technique coming towards him, Xia Ping was unmoved. He took a step forward and his aura was several times more terrifying than before. Previously he was just a sleeping tiger, but now he had woken up. When he took a step forward, the heavens and earth shook. It was as if an ancient ferocious beast had come out of its cave, emitting an overwhelming aura. Even though he had not made a move, the entire world seemed to have quietened down. Xia Ping hugged his hammer with both hands and transformed into an invincible violent ape. He roared on the mountain peak, shaking the forest and causing the earth to tremble. A strong wave of true qi rose from his body and circulated through his meridians. It gathered in his hands and transformed into a huge ball. When it condensed, it was extremely tyrannical and emitted an aura of invincibility. Myriad Beast Fist First Style Violent Ape Hammer. Boom! It was at this moment that Xia Ping made his move. He was like a ferocious ape as he descended from the sky with incomparable speed and exceptional ferocity. The air exploded and the forest trembled. This violent wave of true energy smashed out like a violent hammer, sweeping away everything in its path. Bang bang bang. In the blink of an eye the air exploded. Countless saber chis and boundless gales were smashed by this hammer. It was as if a huge boulder had been smashed into powder. No matter what it was unable to withstand this hammer. Everything was crushed into dust, and even the air was torn apart. This was how tyrannical this power was. What? Impossible. He-jun was taken aback and his eyes were filled with horror. He had used the strength of the second heaven of the martial artist realm, and the killing move of the Gale Saber technique. He believed that there were only a handful of experts in the same realm who could defeat him. However, in the face of this young man's fist, his heart actually surged with the feeling of looking up at a high mountain, as if the other party was an unsurpassable mountain. Rumble. In an instant, the true energy giant hammer fell from the sky and smashed down fiercely like a meteor. With a destructive aura, it hit He-jun's body. Ah! He-jun was caught off guard and screamed. His whole body was smashed to the ground like a piece of rag. The black long saber in his hand was smashed into a piece of scrap iron in an instant. Bang bang bang. Immediately, a huge deep pit with a diameter of 2 to 3 meters appeared on the ground. Soil splashed everywhere. Hee-jun's whole body was lying in the deep pit with 7 or 8 ribs in his chest broken. With a puff he could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His face was pale and his breathing was weak. How is this possible? I am an expert in the second heaven of the martial artist realm. I have opened 2 acupoints and can kill people from 10 meters away. I can deal with 100 ordinary martial disciples. I am tyrannical and unparalleled, but now I am actually not his match. This is ridiculous. Hee-jun was horrified and his heart had collapsed. He could not believe that such a thing had happened. Just this punch had beaten him, an expert in the second heaven of the martial artist realm, into such a state. Even his black long saber had been smashed into scraps. What kind of terrible power was this? What kind of amazing fist technique was this? What kind of fist technique is this? Gu Peng, who was sitting calmly in his seat, suddenly stood up. He did not even care that the cup of steaming coffee next to him was knocked over and spilled. He stared at the screen. The punch just now was exquisite to the extreme. He used the true energy in his body to the peak. He seemed to see the birth of a mountain-violent ape, wreaking havoc in the world, exuding a terrifying power that could suppress all beasts. This was not Five Form's fist, nor was it any other beast fist. He had never seen or heard of it, but it was the essence of the Great Way. It must be a martial arts technique above the king level. If Five Form's fist was the peak technique of the use of muscles, bones, and body, then this fist technique was the supreme technique of the use of the true energy in the body to the extreme. Where did this kid learn this from? Gu Peng was a little surprised, but he quickly calmed down. He was not too surprised. All geniuses had their own fortuitous encounters. Even when he was young, he had one fortuitous encounter after another. Perhaps he accidentally entered some ancient ruins, or got some guidance from a powerful martial artist, or picked up a secret book and so on. If he was a martial artist of other forces he might be greedy, but he was a member of the Giant Company. In the Giant Company, there were no treasures that couldn't be obtained, no martial arts secret books that couldn't be exchanged, and even those that were comparable to this exquisite fist technique were not few. This was the heritage of the Giant Company. The 3 giants of Yanhuang Star. Interesting, it is not difficult for this kid to pass this trial. It seems that I will have another colleague. Gu Peng smiled slightly, looked at the screen, and continued to watch the end of the match. At this time, Xia Ping came in front of Hee-jun, looked down and said indifferently, "Do you admit defeat?" "Admit defeat? I am a master in the second heaven of the martial artist realm. Why would I admit defeat to a rookie like you? Even if it was a joke, there should be a limit." Hee-jun's face was ferocious and he roared. With a bang he struggled, jumped up, clenched his fist and punched out. True chi vibrated and he tried to fight back. Even if he didn't have a long saber, he still had his fists, and he would not lose to anyone. Xia Ping did not look at Hee-jun and slammed his palm. Like a black bear roaring, it fiercely bombarded on Hee-jun's fist. With a few cracking sounds, his fist immediately shattered. "Ah!" Hee-jun screamed and flew out like a straw, rubbing across the ground for dozens of meters. He couldn't help but cough up blood, and more than a dozen bones in his body were broken. "If you don't admit defeat, then go to hell." Xia Ping rushed up, jumped into the air, and stepped on Hee-jun's head, like a wild elephant trampling, full of explosive power. With such a foot, even an iron ball would be trampled into pieces, leaving nothing behind. Shameless. Seeing this scene, Hee-jun was so scared that his face turned green. There is no doubt that being trampled by this foot, his head would probably be crushed into pieces, but didn't this bastard see that he was seriously injured and almost couldn't move? How could he be so ruthless? Damn, this is too cruel. This kid is not human at all. I admit defeat, I admit defeat. Chapter 194. Boom! The instant Hee-jun shouted out his surrender, the entire grassland trembled. Energy distorted and Xia Ping immediately felt a gentle energy surround him, causing him to be unable to move a single step. In just an instant, the grassland disappeared and was restored to its original appearance, revealing a vast training hall. The original pit also disappeared and turned into a cement floor. The two separated. With a bang, Hee-jun lay quietly on the cement floor, his eyes showing a trace of joy after surviving a disaster. Lying beside his hand was a piece of black scrap iron, obviously the long saber he originally carried. He-jun admits defeat. Huang automatically wins the match. At this time, a mechanical voice sounded around the training hall. Beep. The moment the result of the match was announced, Xiaoping also received the transfer of 400 million federal coins from the Black Moon Tower's account. The efficiency was extremely high, and He-jun naturally lost 400 million. No way, He-jun actually lost? A master at the second heaven of the martial artist realm is actually not this kid's match. Not only is he not a match, he simply has no power to fight back. With just one move, He-jun was beaten like a dead dog, and even that long saber was turned into scrap iron. This kind of power is simply terrifying. It is indeed too terrifying. Is this really a master at the first heaven of the martial artist realm? What is going on with this kind of power? The punch is like the birth of a violent ape. The force is incomparably domineering, destroying everything. It is not something that ordinary people can resist. This kind of martial arts has already reached the realm of perfection. It is impossible to use unless one is a grandmaster. This kid was not lying before. He is definitely a monstrous martial artist who can suppress the current world. I didn't expect that He-jun is also considered a veteran. He can be called a wily old fox, and now he still failed miserably. This kid is definitely pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. Damn it, why is this brat so cunning? We were all fooled by him. Can't we see it at all? We thought he was a fool, but we didn't expect this kid to secretly laugh at us for being stupid. We have to be wary of this bastard. He might be an unparalleled demon king, a fierce dragon crossing the river. Seeing that He-jun was defeated by a single punch, many of the spectators were dumbfounded and shocked. They had thought that He-jun would definitely lose and be killed by a single slash. But who could have thought that the situation would take a sudden turn for the worse? With just a single punch, He-jun was sent flying like a dead dog, unable to retaliate at all. This was an overwhelming display of power. Even though these Black Moon Tower martial artists were all experienced and knowledgeable, they had never seen such a powerful martial artist. Some people also remembered how they had mocked this kid before, saying that he was a fool with a lot of money, a rookie who had just arrived at the Black Moon Tower, a big fat sheep who was specially delivering money to He-jun. But now the other party had displayed invincible strength and easily defeated He-jun, winning 400 million federal coins. It was unknown who was the real fool here. When they thought of this, their faces immediately turned red. They wanted nothing more than to dig a hole and bury their heads in it. They were extremely ashamed. At this time in the dueling hall, Xiaoping looked at He-jun, who was struggling to stand up, and raised his eyebrows. He actually chose to admit defeat? You're too spineless. Why don't you fight back? Didn't you say you wanted to teach me a lesson? Fight back my ass. He-jun's nose was crooked from anger. He was extremely sullen. He wanted to fight back, but he had been half crippled with a single punch. More than a dozen of his ribs were broken, and he was seriously injured. How could he fight back? This bastard said it so easily. When he thought of how he had lost the match and lost 400 million, his heart ached. If he had known that this bastard was so terrifying, he definitely would not have fought with this guy. But it was too late to say anything now. This is your win, but don't be too happy. Sooner or later I will win back. He-jun clenched his teeth and glared fiercely at Xiaoping, unwilling to show weakness. He was extremely unwilling. Not convinced. Xiaoping glanced at him. Do you want to fight again? This time we'll bet 800 million. This bastard. He-jun was half dead from anger. He was so angry that he could not speak. The difference in strength between them was too great. He did not win by a hair's breadth, but he had an absolute advantage. If they fought again, he was sure that he would still lose. This bastard clearly wanted to cheat him of his money. Did he really think that He-jun was a fool, a fat sheep? This was too despicable. He clenched his teeth and did not want to talk to this bastard anymore. He turned around and left the duel hall. He walked with a limp, looking very embarrassed. Xiaoping also left. In a few minutes, the two of them arrived at the first floor of the Black Moon Tower. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Instantly, the eyes of the martial artists present were focused on the two of them, especially Xiaoping. This guy had just displayed a strong martial strength, He was definitely a strong opponent. He Jun. Suddenly, a group of people immediately came from the crowd in the distance. The leader was a young man who was 185 meters tall. He wore white clothes, but in the middle of the clothes was a huge pattern of a bloody palm print. His whole body emitted a bloody aura, as if there were many ghosts lingering around him. Seeing this, everyone revealed a look of fear. They all made way for this group of people to pass, not daring to stop them. This group of people was also used to being tyrannical. Seeing this young man appear, Hee-jun was immediately stunned. His eyes revealed a look of horror, and his whole body was trembling. He did not expect to see this young man in this place. Young Master Lu. Hee-jun trembled as he looked at this young man, a little at a loss. With a slap, the young man suddenly slapped Hee-jun's face. Like lightning, the slap landed on Hee-jun's face and sent him flying. Even 2 of his front teeth flew out, and a red palm print quickly appeared. Hee-jun flew a few meters and fell to the ground. It was extremely painful, but he did not dare to cry out. He endured it and crawled back. Hee-jun, the young man said coldly. His eyes were like a venomous snake. You disappoint me too much. I gave you the elixir and allowed you to advance to the second heaven of the martial artist realm. Was it to let you lose to others here? Was it to let you embarrass yourself here? His voice was as cold as the wind and snow, making people could not help but shiver. I am sorry, young Master Lu, I have embarrassed you. Hee-jun knelt on the ground like a dog. His whole body trembled, and he did not even dare to raise his head. He lowered his voice. The reason why he could open the second acupoint so quickly was not only because of the training in the Black Moon Tower, but also because the young man in front of him gave him a precious elixir. With this elixir, the true qi in his body increased greatly, and he took advantage of this opportunity to break through to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. Chapter 195. Who is this young man? Seeing this situation, someone in the crowd felt extremely curious and asked, why is this Hee-jun so submissive? Even if he is beaten and humiliated in public, he does not dare to resist. One had to know that Hee-jun was after all an expert of the second heaven of the martial artist realm. In any martial arts organization, he would be considered an elite. His treatment was extremely high, his annual income was over 10 million, and his status was respected. But now he was being treated like a dog. How shocking was this? Who dares to resist? Do you want to die? Someone at the side immediately whispered. This young man is not an ordinary person. He is Lu Lai, the son of the leader of the Black Moon City Bloodhand organization. In Black Moon City, his words carry enormous weight. At the same time, he is also a martial arts genius. He is only 26 years old and is already a second heaven of the martial artist realm. Furthermore, he is vicious and merciless, and will seek revenge for the smallest grievance. His brutality is famous in Black Moon City. Those who dare to offend him will not see the sun of the next day. Bloodhand organization. Hearing this word, the surrounding people could not help but shiver. Anyone who had mingled in Black Moon City for a period of time knew the name of the Bloodhand organization. This organization was one of the top underworld organizations in Black Moon City. The leader of the organization, Lu Gang, was an expert of the ninth heaven of the martial artist realm. His strength was tyrannical and his true qi was incomparably thick. Of course, there were almost no experts above the martial master realm in Black Moon City. After all, experts of that level did not need to be a gangster here. They could casually join any martial arts organization, and it would be enough to obtain an extremely high status. Even if they went out to hunt monsters, the money they earned was more than smuggling here. But even so, it did not prevent this underworld organization from doing all kinds of evil. They killed countless people and were fierce and cruel. Every time they killed someone, they would leave a huge bloody hand at the scene. The bloody hand showed the prestige of the Bloodhand organization. Because of this, the organization's reputation spread far and wide. No one dared to offend them. As the future successor of this organization, Lu Lai, who dared to be presumptuous? It was understandable that Hee-jun was so afraid. After all, Black Moon City was a lawless city. There were no laws and no police. If he died, no one would avenge him. How could he not be afraid? Get lost. With a bang, Lu Lai kicked He Jun in the chest, sending him flying like a soccer ball. Go and treat your injuries immediately. If you dare to lose a second time and embarrass me again, I'll take your life. Yes, young Master Lu. He Jun didn't dare to say anything. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, he scrambled away in terror. At this time, Lu Lai turned his head and stared at Xia Ping. He Jun is my dog. As the saying goes, you should look at the owner before you beat a dog. You beat my dog. How are you going to compensate me? His tone was incomparably domineering, and there was no room for doubt. How? Xia Ping laughed. I beat him in a formal duel. Do I have to compensate you? Lu Lai stood with his hands behind his back. That's right, compensation. You think you don't need to pay a price for beating my people and ruining my reputation? What a joke. This is Black Moon City, the city of the underworld, a lawless city. Whoever's fist is bigger is the boss. You winning in a duel is a small matter. Offending me is a big matter. Do you believe that one word from me can make you unable to walk out of Black Moon City? His tone was filled with murderous intent. Everyone else was shocked. They knew that Lu Lai was not joking. The Blood Hand also had this kind of power. Once it started, it would be a terrifying war machine. Even near the Black Moon Tower, the Blood Hand wouldn't dare to act recklessly. They had to respect the Black Moon King. But once they left the tower's territory, the Black Moon King wouldn't care. The Blood Hand could do whatever they wanted. In such a big city, it was too easy for a few people to die. This was the tyranny of the underworld. They ignored the rules and followed the law of the jungle. As long as they didn't like someone, they would kill them. Get over here and kowtow to apologize. Otherwise, if you piss me off, you won't see the sun tomorrow. Lu Lai's eyes were filled with arrogance. He looked at Xia Ping as if he was looking at an ant, as if it was only natural. To a young master of the underworld like him, killing a few so-called geniuses was a piece of cake. There were not many things in this world, but there were many geniuses. So what if a few died? Idiot! Xia Ping clasped his hands behind his back and looked at Lu Lai coldly. Who the hell do you think you are to talk to me? You don't have what it takes to make me unable to walk out of Black Moon City. Call your dad. The Blood Hand was very arrogant in Black Moon City. But compared to the giant company, they were just trash. They could destroy a small organization like this with a single breath. This kind of trash wanted him to kowtow and apologize? That was a dream. This kid was so arrogant because he was relying on the power behind him. He was relying on his father. But in terms of power, who was afraid of who? What could be more powerful than the giant company? Impudent. Is this how you talk to me? Do you want to die? Lu Lai's eyes were filled with anger. His body suddenly moved, and in the blink of an eye he arrived. Suddenly, he stretched out his right hand and slapped. The air was filled with a strong wind of true qi. Faintly, a blood-red light was emitted in the air. It was as if a ghost was screaming, causing people to tremble. He wanted to slap this kid in front of him and ruthlessly trample on him. Boom! Xia Ping moved later but arrived first. He suddenly punched out and stepped out. Like a ferocious tiger coming out of the mountain, the whole hall seemed to be shaking at this moment. Bang! This punch fiercely hit Lu Lai's right hand. A flood-like power immediately exploded. Lu Lai screamed. He felt that his right hand was broken and his whole body was sent flying. With a few bangs, he continuously smashed 2 to 3 men in black behind him. In the end, he slid for tens of meters and hit the wall. Only then did he stop. Immediately, he felt pain all over his body. Young Master Lu. The few underlings behind him were shocked. They hurriedly went up and helped Lu Lai up. They were terrified. This was the young master of the Blood Hand. If something really happened, they would not be able to keep their heads. You! Lu Lai was infuriated. He struggled and was extremely angry. He glared at Xia Ping. He did not expect that his sudden attack would be blocked by the opponent. Moreover, the opponent's strength was too terrifying. He had no way to resist and was defeated. Moreover, this was in front of so many people. He had lost all his face. One could imagine how angry he was in his heart. You dare to come out with such little strength? Acting arrogant and despotic like others. Aren't you afraid of losing your father's face? Xia Ping looked down at Lu Lai with disdain. Go home and train your martial arts. Don't come out to fool around. Bullying people and acting like a tyrant is not suitable for you. Do you understand? To tell you the truth, without the support of the Blood Hand, you are nothing. Everyone looks down on you. What? Chapter 196. You want to die? Lu Lai was going crazy. He wanted to rush up and fight Xia Ping. But at that moment, a dozen guards from the Black Moon Tower walked out and warned, "You are not allowed to fight in the Black Moon Tower. If you dare to fight again, you will die." Their voices were filled with murderous intent. Even the people from Bloodhand were shocked. After all, this was not Bloodhand's territory. It was Black Moon King's territory. If they broke the rules, even Bloodhand could not protect them. If they died, they would die for nothing. You are lucky this time. Hearing this, Lu Lai's eyes were filled with fear. He gritted his teeth and stared at Xia Ping. Just you wait. Don't walk out of the Black Moon Tower. If you do, you will regret it. After saying this, he turned around and left with his men. Lu Lai was a smart man. He would not openly challenge Black Moon King's rules. If he did, even his father would kill him himself to appease Black Moon King's anger. Whoosh! 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 The members of the Blood Hand organization left one after another. However, before they left behind a dozen or so ferocious gazes that made people tremble in fear. Everyone knew that this matter was not over yet. This kid is done for. So stupid. He dared to offend Bloodhand. He must be tired of living. Even if Bloodhand does not dare to do anything in the Black Moon Tower, it is different in other places. Unless this kid stays here for the rest of his life, he will die if he leaves the Black Moon Tower. Poor martial arts genius. He offended such a cruel organization. He has no future. Everyone discussed and looked at Xia Ping with pity. They thought this kid was already a dead man. Those who were targeted by Bloodhand did not have a good ending. Even if this brat looked like he had some money, and his family probably had some background, but in Black Moon City, in this lawless area, the so-called background was completely useless. This kid is too good at causing trouble. Gu Peng also saw this scene through the surveillance video and had a speechless look on his face. In the past, all the martial artists who wanted to join the giant company were all low profile. They came to the Black Moon Pagoda quietly and left quietly. No one would discover their existence. Everything was very peaceful and there were no accidents. But this brat is not peaceful at all. He causes trouble everywhere. The moment he arrives, he fights with people. Now, he even offends the Blood Hand organization. He even beat up the crown prince of the Blood Hand organization in front of everyone. Although to the giant company, the so-called Blood Hand organization was just trash, Gu Peng believed that after this bastard joined the giant company, he wouldn't be able to live in peace. Maybe he would continue to cause even more trouble. Of course, this kind of thing could only happen if this kid passed the Black Moon Tower's trial. At this time, a staff member walked up and said to Xia Ping, "Sir, the Black Moon Tower nightmare trial that you booked yesterday is about to begin. Are you ready?" "Sure." Xia Ping nodded, feeling excited. Finally, the trial was about to begin. The reason he came here was to participate in the Black Moon Tower's trial. As for the Blood Hand organization, that was only secondary. Nightmare trial? This kid is really gutsy. Previously, I thought this guy was here to play to the gallery. But after seeing his strength just now, maybe he really wants to pass the nightmare trial. What a joke. Which martial artist who can pass the nightmare trial doesn't leave their name in history? They will definitely become King Realm martial artists in the future. How can one just appear randomly? I've stayed in the Black Moon Tower for 18 years, and I haven't seen one. It's really too difficult to want such a monstrous martial artist to appear. I think this kid will quickly run out of here. He wants to challenge the nightmare trial now? He's simply dreaming. He's overestimating himself. It's not that I'm looking down on this kid, but if he really can pass the nightmare trial, I will eat shit in front of everyone without hesitation. I won't hesitate. Big brother is awesome. Count me in, let's eat together. Many of the audience members were whispering. They didn't think that Xia Ping could pass the nightmare trial. Some of them even said that if this kid passed, they would eat shit on the spot. Okay, follow me. The staff member ignored the others. Seeing that Xia Ping agreed, he nodded and brought Xia Ping to a silver elevator in the northeast corner. With a ding, The two of them took the elevator to the 12th floor of the Black Moon Tower. After coming out, they saw a long passageway with huge training rooms on both sides. Go in. The staff member led Xiaoping to room 1201, opened the door, and let Xiaoping walk in. Xiaoping didn't hesitate and directly walked into the room. Boom! When the door closed, he immediately felt the world spin, as if he was surrounded by a spatial force. He didn't know where he was teleported to. When Xiaoping opened his eyes, he immediately found himself in a huge city. But this city was full of ruins. Black smoke rose, the roads were broken, and there were abandoned cars parked on the side of the road. There was a pool of black blood on the ground, and there was an unpleasant smell in the air. It was like a ruin. This seemed to be a city from the cataclysm. Amazing! This is the Black Moon Tower's martial arts simulation space. Xiaoping stood on the asphalt road and felt the atmosphere around him. He could clearly feel that he was in the middle of a real city. But he also knew that this was not a real city, but a unique space simulated by the Black Moon Tower. A dimensional space with a boundless area. This kind of technology was beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Boom! Suddenly, a metallic voice came from the simulation space. Trial Taker Huang, in 3 minutes, you will begin the first heaven of the Martial Warrior Realm Nightmare level trial. Within an hour, you need to kill 1,000 first heaven of the Martial Warrior Realm Blood Demon Wolves. If you die halfway, you fail the trial. If you can't kill 10,000 Blood Demon Wolves, you fail too. What? Hearing this, Xiaoping's mouth twitched. Kill 1,000 Blood Demon Wolves within an hour, fail if you die, fail if you can't kill all of them? That's crazy. Xiaoping was stunned and felt dumbfounded. What was the concept of 1,000 Blood Demon Wolves? It was like an endless army. Just by running, it was enough to trample a bunch of martial artists to death and flatten a town. It was unparalleled. But now, there was actually a chance to kill 1,000 Blood Demon Wolves, and it had to be done within an hour. If they died, they would lose, and if they couldn't kill all of them, they would lose too. This was not a trial, it was clearly playing with your life. Chapter 197. At the same time, Xiaoping also knew that the entry-level trial required to kill 10 Blood Demon Wolves of the same level, the easy level required to kill 50 Blood Demon Wolves of the same level, and the hard level required to kill 100 Blood Demon Wolves of the same level. At the Nightmare level, it was necessary to kill 1,000. It was very difficult for an ordinary martial artist to deal with 1 Blood Demon Wolf of the same level, let alone kill 10 of them. It was almost impossible, even if one didn't have outstanding battle prowess. As for 50, 100, it was even more difficult. If thousands of Blood Demon Wolves attacked, it was estimated that the trial taker would be torn to pieces in an instant, leaving nothing behind. It's too difficult to pass the Nightmare level trial. In the distance, Gu Peng held a glass of wine in his hand, shaking it gently, and sighed. Although he could not see what happened in the trial space, he could also be sure that it was almost impossible for Xiaoping to pass this Nightmare level trial. Back then, in order to pass the hard level trial, he spent a lot of effort, fought with hundreds of Blood Demon Wolves, fought bloody battles, and was seriously injured. In this way, it took him a whole month to finally pass. As for the Nightmare level trial, he didn't even dare to think about it, and felt that it was not something that humans could pass. After all, in the trial of Black Moon Tower, the enemies faced by the trial taker are of the same level. No matter how strong your cultivation is, once you enter the martial arts simulation space of Black Moon Tower, you will be treated equally. When he tries this Nightmare level trial and knows the power of this trial, he will probably be honest. There is still a so-called limit to human strength. Gu Peng smiled slightly. He was not worried about Xiaoping's safety. Because the trial of Black Moon Tower still has a safety guarantee, there is a super-intelligent system inside. Once it detects that the trial taker's life is in danger, it will immediately terminate the trial and teleport out. It is also because of this that Black Moon Tower attracts countless martial artists. There is no danger to life, and you can experience the cruel battle of life and death. It is estimated that there is no better place to increase your combat experience than this. At this time in the trial space, Xiaoping stood in the same place, moved his body, but his expression was relaxed. Just now he was frightened by the number of thousands of Blood Demon Wolves, but after calming down, he found that it was very difficult for ordinary martial artists, and it was not an exaggeration to say that there was no chance of survival. But for him it was not impossible to pass. I have the Dark North body protection technique. Xiaping clenched his fists. My defense is unparalleled. As long as the enemy's combat power doesn't exceed mine by too much, they won't be able to break my defense. Although these blood demon wolves are powerful, they are at the same martial arts realm as me. It's impossible for them to break my defense. In this way, I'm in an invincible position. It was precisely because of this that Xiaping was not afraid of this trial. And I just happened to exchange for the second level of Dark North body protection skill. I can take this opportunity to try and let these blood demon wolves know my power. Xiaping's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. 3 minutes passed quickly, and the robotic voice sounded again. The first heaven of the martial artist realm, nightmare trial begins. As soon as he finished speaking, demonic wolves the size of calves appeared on the streets of the ruined city. They were covered with blood-red fur, and their eyes were red. Their limbs were powerful and they had sharp claws. As they slashed at the ground, shocking gashes appeared on the ground, and they gave off a monstrous aura. Roar! On the streets, thousands of blood demon wolves rushed out, and their claws were invincible. Even titanium alloy metal could be easily torn apart. If these blood demon wolves get close, they will tear humans into pieces in an instant. Just one is enough to pose a threat to a martial artist realm powerhouse, let alone thousands of them. Rumble! The entire ruined city resounded with the roar of the demon wolves. Thousands of blood demon wolves rushed and trampled crazily. When they saw Xiaping, it was as if they saw a supreme delicacy. Within 100 miles, it was trembling and roaring. Amazing! Even if Xiaping has confidence in himself, he felt nervous when he saw so many blood demon wolves rushing madly. This is the power of the real beast tide. It can be imagined what kind of cruel situation human beings faced hundreds of years ago. When these monsters ruled the entire Yanhuang star, human beings could only tremble. These monsters often slaughtered human cities. They were bloody and powerful, causing countless human beings to tremble and be in danger. That was a dark age, an age without any hope. But fortunately, human beings still won and once again became the overlord of Yanhuang star, relying on the tyrannical strength of the martial arts powerhouses, which was enough to compete with countless tyrannical monsters. In a few breaths, dozens of blood demon wolves rushed over first, like a tide flocking over, exuding the aura of hunting prey, leaving no place to escape. These blood demon wolves were not polite. They opened their fangs, stretched out their claws, and rushed over like a gust of wind, wanting to tear the prey in front of them into pieces in an instant. A silver-cold light flashed through the air. But when these blood demon wolves wanted to approach Xiaping, their huge bodies seemed to hit a hard wall. The surface of Xiaping's body was covered with a thick layer of true qi armor, which was more than 10 centimeters thick. Bang bang bang! These blood demon wolves that were rushing at full speed collided with it. It was like a sports car driving at 200 kilometers per hour suddenly hitting a wall. Only the car would be destroyed and people would die. But this situation is even more terrifying. Because Xiaping practiced the second layer of Dark North body protection technique, it evolved a new ability, rebound. Pay the enemy back in his own coin. At the second level, this technique can not only absorb and digest the enemy's attack power, but also reflect these attacks back. If it reaches the third level, it can double the rebound, and even reach a higher level, it will produce dozens of times the power of the rebound, and the enemy will be shocked to death in an instant. Rumble! Dozens of blood demon wolves that rushed over first did not expect this human being to be so terrifying. They were all caught off guard, screamed, and their whole bodies were blasted out. They exploded directly in midair, turned into a mass of meat sauce, and died without a whole body. This is the real Dark North body protection technique, which integrates attack and defense, and is invincible. Xiaping felt the power of his Dark North body protection technique. The true qi in his body was manipulated by him at will. It was superb and omnipotent, and his heart was extremely happy. At the same time, because of the collision of these blood demon wolves, the tyrannical attack power was absorbed by Dark North body protection technique, which was equivalent to helping him cultivate, temper his body, and become stronger. Chapter 198. Yes, that's it. Xiaping stood where he was. He didn't even attack. Countless blood demon wolves rushed at him, And then they were shocked to death by a strong rebound force. The fiercer and stronger they were, the faster they would die. Xiaoping, on the other hand, felt refreshed. This was equivalent to the top practice. The genuine qi in his body was surging, and the elixir energy contained in his body was being refined little by little. He felt that the genuine qi in his meridians was surging like the sea, flowing into the Baihui acupoint. This powerful genuine qi almost filled the entire Baihui acupoint, making a crashing sound. Once this acupoint was full of genuine qi, he could try to open the second acupoint and advance to the second heaven of the martial artist realm. Bang! 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 In this way, the blood demon wolves attacked him one by one, and then were shaken away. They exploded in the air and turned into a mass of blood. The whole street was stained with blood, as if it had turned into a blood river. Congratulations! It took you 25 minutes and 36 seconds to kill all 1,000 blood demon wolves. You have passed the nightmare trial perfectly. At this time, a metallic voice resounded over the whole ruined city. What? Gone. All these blood demon wolves are dead? Xiaoping opened his eyes and looked at the blood demon wolves' bodies that had been smashed into pieces in the distance. Now none of these blood demon wolves could survive. They were all dead. He felt a little regretful. He had been immersed in cultivation just now, and the genuine qi in his body was surging. If he had cultivated for another half an hour, he estimated that the genuine qi in his body could fill the entire Baihui acupoint and reach the peak of the first heaven of the martial artist realm. At that time, he could try to open the second acupoint. Congratulations to trial tester Huang for passing the nightmare trial of the first heaven of the martial artist realm without any loss. You have set a new record. You are rewarded with a King Realm secret manual, Kuanpeng step, and a 9 reincarnation elixir. At this time, the metallic voice sounded in the sky again. At the same time, a secret manual and a white porcelain bottle fell from the air. What? Xiaoping subconsciously took the secret manual and the white bottle. He blinked his eyes. There was actually a reward for passing this nightmare trial? What was going on? And at this moment, the entire Black Moon Pagoda shook and a dazzling light appeared. A few large golden words appeared in the air. Trial Challenger Huang passed the Fighter First Heaven's Nightmare Trial without any losses and created a new record for the Fighter Realm of the Black Moon Pagoda. Rewarded with a King Realm secret manual, Kuanpeng steps, and a 9 transformations essence nurturing pill. This row of golden characters trembled, emitting a dazzling radiance that illuminated the entire tower. Even the sun in the sky couldn't compare to it. Indistinctly, the cries of tens of thousands of beasts could be heard, causing everything within 100 miles to tremble. Whether it was the people inside the Black Moon Tower or the people outside, they were all shocked. What? Someone passed the nightmare trial. Who is it? The group was shocked. In the past 10 years, no one had been able to pass the nightmare trial. Now, someone had actually completed it. That's not right. Even if someone passed the nightmare trial, the Black Moon Tower wouldn't make such a move. Some people expressed their suspicions, finding it hard to understand. There had been people who had passed the nightmare level trial before, but they hadn't announced it to the world like this. Didn't you hear? This trial taker set a record. He passed the nightmare trial without suffering any losses. That's why the Black Moon Tower announced it to the world. The entire Black Moon Tower is celebrating. You must be joking. Passing the nightmare trial without suffering any losses, is this guy a freak? This is unbelievable. Even if someone passed the nightmare trial with serious injuries, they would still be considered a peerless monster. But now, someone actually passed it without suffering any losses. What kind of god is this? No wonder he set a record. Even the Black Moon Tower was alarmed. It's unbelievable. Facing thousands of beasts of the same level, he could kill them without suffering any losses. What kind of monster is this? The crowd discussed animatedly. They were all very shocked, and all of them were dumbfounded. They were very clear about what it meant to be able to set a record in the Black Moon Tower. As long as someone who could do this did not die along the way, he would definitely become an invincible King Realm powerhouse. That's right, this trial taker Huang. Is he the Huang who just defeated Frenzied Blade, He-jun and offended Bloodhand's Crown Prince Lu Lai? Someone shouted, his face revealing an expression of disbelief. He clearly remembered that it was this kid who was going to participate in the nightmare trial. But not long after, there was news that he passed the nightmare trial and even set a record. Yes, it must be that kid. Other than that kid called Huang, who else could be called Huang? There were also people who were shocked, because the name of the person who logged into the Black Moon Tower might be fake, but there was absolutely no repetition. It can't be. That stupid kid really passed the nightmare trial and even set a record. This is incredible. That Huang is definitely a peerless monster. He will become a King Realm powerhouse in the future. Just now I thought that kid was bragging. He said that he was a genius from his hometown and that he would become a King Realm powerhouse in the future. I didn't expect it to be true. That kid didn't lie. All the martial artists of the Black Moon Tower were shocked and dumbfounded. They simply did not dare to believe their eyes. That stupid, rich, and arrogant bastard just now actually passed the nightmare trial and even set a record. This shocked the Black Moon Tower. This was something that had never happened in 100 years. If such a person was not a peerless monster, then no one had the right to call themselves a genius. When they thought of this, some people regretted to the point that their intestines turned green. If they knew that the kid was so powerful, they would have gone up to curry favor with him a long time ago. He was a King Realm powerhouse in the future. If they could obtain the friendship of such a person, then what would they have to worry about in the future? With such a thick thigh, they would not have to worry for the rest of their lives. Right, didn't someone just say that as long as that Huang can pass the nightmare trial, he will eat shit on the spot? Now that he has passed, why don't you come and let everyone witness it? One person shouted as if he wanted the world to be in chaos. Yes, I still remember that there was another person who was also excited and wanted to join in and eat. Now come out and take a few steps and let everyone get to know him. Another person beside him laughed loudly. Get to know him. When they heard these words, the faces of the two people who said these words just now turned green. They did not even dare to breathe loudly. The two of them were like turtles hiding in the crowd, afraid that someone would discover them. The two of them even shrunk back and wanted to sneak away. Otherwise, if the surrounding martial artists found out that the two of them said these words, they might really be forced to eat shit. The two of them cursed in their hearts and felt extremely sullen. Damn it, they were only joking when they said these words. Who would have thought that the bastard would really pass the nightmare trial and even set a record? Chapter 199. On a spaceship at the airport of Black Moon City. With a snap, the crystal wine glass in Gu Peng's hand fell to the ground. With a crisp sound, it shattered into pieces, and the wine spilled all over the ground. No way, is this a joke? He really passed the nightmare trial and even created a new record. Gu Peng was dumbfounded. He rubbed his eyes as if he couldn't believe what he saw. Just passing the nightmare trial was already a huge thing, but setting a new record was even more terrifying. Those who could do this were all world-shaking experts in the future. They had strength far beyond the King Realm. And they were truly the big shots who stood at the peak of countless martial arts experts. And this Xia Ping, it was very likely that he had such talent. Incredible master really recruited an incredible genius this time. Gu Peng sighed. He originally thought that this kid passing the hard trial was already amazing. But he didn't expect that he would actually pass the nightmare trial and even create a record. This was completely beyond his imagination. It could be said that Yi Ping's future achievements in martial arts might even be above his own. But creating a record and receiving a treasure from the Black Moon Tower might not be a blessing. I'm afraid it will cause many people to be greedy. Gu Peng's eyes flashed as he sat on his chair. He wanted nothing more than to call Xia Ping back immediately and let him pass the trial. But according to the rules of the giant company, just passing the Black Moon Tower's hard trial was not enough. He had to return to the airport safely for it to be considered over. If there was any big trouble during this period, he couldn't interfere and could only watch. A martial arts expert passing the Black Moon Tower trial, and even created a record, made all the martial artists in the Black Moon Tower excited. It also attracted the attention of many people in the underworld. Incredible, the youngsters nowadays are incredible. They can actually create a record. How many years has it been since I last saw something like this? He is indeed a genius, but if he dies prematurely, then it's nothing. A dead genius is no different from an ordinary person. They are all corpses. Did you see that? This kid, Huang, has obtained an extraordinary reward for establishing this record. A King Realm cultivation technique, the rock steps, and a 9 transformation origin fostering pill. Both of these are supreme treasures. Many people from the underworld were discussing it, their eyes filled with greed. Such a huge and precious reward had also aroused the jealousy and desire of many cultivators. Really is a treasure. It's a King Realm cultivation technique. That's a precious cultivation technique that leads directly to the King Realm. It's priceless, and even tens of billions of Federation coins might not be able to buy it. An underworld figure clenched his fists, his eyes filled with desire. If I can get this secret manual, my combat power will be at least 2 to 3 times stronger than it is now, or even more. At that time, even the martial master realm will be within our reach. To a martial artist, a true top-notch martial technique secret manual was immeasurably beneficial. As for King Realm secret manuals, the increase in a martial artist's strength was not just a little bit. Ordinary martial techniques could be purchased in the major companies of Yanhuang Star. But King Realm secret manuals could not be bought even if one had money. They were true secrets that were treasured by countless martial arts organizations. On Yanhuang Star, martial techniques were also divided into several levels. Basic martial techniques, intermediate martial techniques, advanced martial techniques, master martial techniques, grandmaster martial techniques, and finally King Realm martial techniques. With each increase in level, the degree of preciousness would increase exponentially. One could imagine how much these underworld figures desired it. Although King Realm secret manuals are precious, what's really precious is the 9 transformation origin fostering pill. An underworld boss's eyes were extremely fanatical as he said excitedly, "Do you know what the origin fostering pill is? It's a peerless pill that consolidates the foundation, improves one's aptitude, and enhances one's potential." Among them, the first transformation origin fostering pill is extremely precious. One can only be bought with tens of millions of Federation coins. As for the second transformation origin fostering pill and the third transformation origin fostering pill, it goes without saying that their value has increased exponentially. There is no doubt that once one takes this 9 transformation origin fostering pill, even a loser can be transformed into a real genius in an instant. Their cultivation will improve by leaps and bounds, and their potential will be enhanced. At that time, they will even have hope of advancing to the King Realm. Hearing this, everyone revealed extremely greedy gazes. They simply wished for nothing more than to immediately seize these 2 treasures, and they couldn't suppress the palpitation in their hearts. To these underworld figures, all geniuses were fake. Only their own strength in the martial Tao was real. At this moment, in a hotel outside the Black Moon Tower, it was a stronghold of the Blood Hand organization. Boss, that kid Huang passed the nightmare trial and created a new record. He obtained the 9 transformation origin fostering pill and King Realm secret manuals from the Black Moon Tower. That kid has completely struck it rich. A subordinate reported. He revealed an expression of envy and jealousy. If he obtained these 2 treasures, his cultivation in the martial Tao would definitely soar into the sky. Struck it rich. Lu Lai's eyes revealed a trace of coldness, and he smiled ferociously. If he can leave Black Moon City alive, then he will truly strike it rich. If he dies in this place, then it will be like the moon in the water. I was just worrying that there was no reason to mobilize the power of the Blood Hand organization to deal with that damned bastard. I didn't expect that he would really send me a pillow when I want to doze off. This is really great. This is a great opportunity bestowed by the heavens. He laughed loudly, incomparably arrogant. Boss, could it be that you want to deal with that Huang? That subordinate was stunned. Lu Lai clenched his fists, and a trace of bone-piercing coldness appeared on his body. Deal with? Wrong, I want him dead. Just the fact that he dared to disrespect me before is enough for him to die. Now that kid has one more reason to die. As the saying goes, an innocent man gets into trouble because of his wealth. A trash of the first heaven of the martial warrior realm, a poor country boy from God knows where, is qualified to obtain these treasures. The King Realm secret manuals and the 9 transformation origin fostering pill belong to my Blood Hand organization. His voice was resolute and there was no doubt. And on the other side, at the headquarters of the Black Bear Company, Director Dai, after a few months that Huang has appeared. Several subordinates hurriedly ran in, and reported this earth-shattering event to their boss. What's going on? Inside the office, the knife-scarred man turned around. It is said that the guy called Huang went to the Black Moon Tower, and even passed the first heaven of the martial warrior realm nightmare level trial, created the Black Moon Tower record, and obtained 2 peerless treasures. The problem is, we can't be sure if he is the culprit who blew up our company building. We also don't have enough evidence to prove it. After all, there are many people with the same name and surname in this world. Several subordinates said in a deep voice. Who cares so much? Whoever is called Huang deserves to die. Whoever dares to provoke my Black Bear Company, no matter who, must pay the price. And that King Realm secret manual and the 9 transformation origin fostering pill, my Black Bear Company also wants them. Immediately mobilize our brothers to head to the Black Moon Tower and surround that guy called Huang. The knife-scarred man Dai and sneered, his killing intent soaring. Yes, Director Dai and many members of the Black Bear Company spoke one after another, their killing intent soaring. Whether that guy was the culprit or not was not important. The important thing was that their Black Bear Company wanted those 2 treasures. This was enough to make them want to kill. This was the power of the underworld. Chapter 200. Boom! At the end of the trial, Xiaoping felt himself surrounded by energy and was teleported out of the room, holding 2 things in his hand. One was the secret book, Kuan-Peng Steps, and the other was a 9-turn essence cultivating pill. These 2 things were the treasures rewarded by the Black Moon Tower. There's such a benefit from passing the trial? Xiaoping touched his chin. He had never heard of such a thing. In fact, not many people had heard of it. After all, it was unknown how many years it had been since a record was created, so it was normal that many people didn't know about it. Even those who knew about it wouldn't tell anyone. System, how much is this Kuan-Peng Steps worth? Xiaoping asked subconsciously. The system replied, if it is exchanged within the system, it will require at least 100,000 hatred points. If the host wants to learn this step, it will cost 20,000 hatred points. What? Xiaoping was overjoyed. This was a secret book worth 100,000 hatred points. Even the previous 10,000 Beast's Fist was only worth 50,000 hatred points. One could imagine how precious this Kuan-Peng Steps was. It could be said that he had made a big reward this time. And this 9-turn essence cultivating pill, he had also heard of the reputation of this kind of pill. This was a top-grade pill. Even if he wanted to buy it on the market, no one would be willing to sell it. As long as he took this pill, he felt that he would be promoted to the 2nd layer of the martial artist realm. It would also improve his aptitude and enhance his potential. I'm rich now. It's really good to come to the Black Moon Tower. Not only did I pass the trial, but I also have a huge reward. Xiaoping happily put the 2 treasures on his body. Then he left here, planning to return to the airport of Black Moon City and end this trial. Officially joining the giant company was the most important thing. As for studying martial arts secret books and taking pills, it would not be too late after this matter was over. Anyway, it was in his hands. Ding! Taking the elevator from the 12th floor of the Black Moon Tower, Xiaoping soon came to the hall on the 1st floor. Whoosh whoosh whoosh! When Xiaoping's figure appeared in the hall on the 1st floor, all the cultivators present immediately focused their gazes on Xiaoping. Everyone revealed extremely complicated expressions, such as admiration, awe, greed, pity, and so on. It seemed that all the emotions of humans were revealed at this moment. He's here, that Huang is out. He's the one who set a record that no one has broken in the Black Moon Tower for decades. Previously, when this guy said that he wanted to pass the nightmare trial, I thought he was just bragging. I didn't expect him to actually do it. Anyone who can create a record in the Black Moon Tower, as long as they don't die, will definitely become a legend. Everyone discussed spiritedly as they stared at Xiaoping. Their eyes flickered with complicated emotions. Some people thought that they were watching the beginning of a legend, the beginning of a story. Brother, you must be Huang, right? Can I have a word with you? Suddenly, a few middle-aged men dressed in tiger-striped clothes walked over, revealing a mouthful of white teeth. They surrounded Xiaoping in an instant. Their bodies exuded a murderous aura. All of them were experts in the 2nd heaven of the martial artist realm, and were extremely powerful. One of them was an expert at the 3rd heaven of the martial artist realm. Can I have a word with you? What do you want? Xiaoping narrowed his eyes and stared at these people. He could clearly feel the malice from these people, and they were clearly targeting him. I heard that you've created a record in the Black Moon Tower, and obtained a King Realm manual and a 9-revolution origin nurturing pill? The middle-aged man in the lead said, We're very interested in this. I wonder if you can sell it to us? Sell? How much do you want to pay? Xiaoping's eyes turned as he asked. The middle-aged man smiled lightly. We can offer 100 million federal coins. He stretched out a finger. Everyone was in an uproar. This was clearly robbery. Merely a 9-revolution origin nurturing pill was worth hundreds of millions, and the value of a King Realm manual was even more terrifying. It was a treasure that couldn't be bought with money. Now they actually wanted to buy these two treasures for a mere 100 million. If this wasn't robbery, then what was? Idiot. Xiaoping couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with these people. He directly waved his hand and told them to scram. Did they really think he was an idiot? They wanted to take away a 9-revolution origin nurturing pill and a King Realm manual for 100 million? Young man, I advise you not to be impulsive. The middle-aged man remained unmoved and still had a smile on his face. I admit that you do have some talent to be able to pass through the nightmare trial. However, you're only a martial artist at the first level of the martial artist realm. No matter how strong you are, there's a limit. There are a lot of people in Black Moon City who can kill you. As the saying goes, an innocent man gets into trouble because of his wealth. There are some things that some people can possess and some can't. Otherwise, you'll be courting death. As long as you're willing to give these two treasures to my Fierce Tiger organization, we'll definitely be able to protect your life and allow you to leave Black Moon City safely. This is a good deal, isn't it? After all, in this world, what's more important than life? He looked at Xiaoping with a smile, and his tone contained a trace of threat. Are you threatening me? Xiaoping narrowed his eyes and looked at the middle-aged man. A trace of displeasure surged in his heart. He was very clear that the Fierce Tiger organization was a super underworld organization in Black Moon City. It was an underworld force that was on par with the Blood Hand organization. They had numerous members and experts. A force like this had a terrifying amount of power in Black Moon City. The middle-aged man waved his hand. No, I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you a fact. There are a lot of talented people in this world. You're just one of them. It's true that you might have the potential to advance to the King Realm, but that's just potential. Without growing up, everything is just empty words. There are many geniuses who die along the way. I think you should know when to lower your head and when to compromise. You should know better than me that things that are too hard are easy to break. He still had the face of a smiling tiger. Get lost. Xiaoping couldn't be bothered to talk to these people. Hearing this, the middle-aged men next to him had ugly expressions. They looked like they wanted to fight, but were stopped by their boss. He smiled at Xiaoping and said, All right, since you're not willing, I won't force you. I wish you good luck. Of course, if you have nowhere else to go, my Fierce Tiger organization will still welcome you. But the price at that time, I'm afraid it won't be this price anymore. With that, he waved his hand and quickly left with his subordinates. He did not continue to bother Xiaoping. Chapter 201. After the group of people from the Fierce Tiger organization left, the matter was not over. Group after group of people came up, all of them from the major underworld organizations of Black Moon City. They all tried to trade with Xiaoping, wanting to spend a huge amount of money to buy the King Realm manual and the 9 transformation pill. But all of them were greedy. Even the highest price was only 500 million, and after that no one else offered a price. Xiaoping was not an idiot. Of course, he would not agree to such an obviously fraudulent deal. He rejected all of them and told these underworld people to get out of here and not be an eyesore. The underworld people flew into a rage out of humiliation. They shouted that Xiaoping could not leave Black Moon City, and that once he left the Black Moon Tower, he would immediately die on the streets. But they did not dare to make a move in the Black Moon Tower, and all of them left with their tails between their legs. I will die if I leave the Black Moon Tower? Interesting, I want to see how these underworld people want to deal with me. Xiaoping's eyes flashed, and he strode out of the Black Moon Tower. Not long after, He came to a wide square on the east side of the Black Moon Tower. Once he left this square, he would be completely out of the Black Moon Tower's sphere of influence. At that time, no matter what he did, the forces of the Black Moon Tower would not care. When he came to the edge of the square, Xia Ping immediately saw many underworld people eyeing him like hungry wolves. The moment he had the impulse to take a step outside, they would immediately make a move. The air was filled with a murderous atmosphere, extremely oppressive. With a snap, Xia Ping took a step forward, and half of his foot stepped over the edge of the square without hesitation. Bang! At this moment, a terrifying sniper bullet shot out from a tall building in the distance. It tore through the air and whistled through the air. In just a few breaths it shot towards Xia Ping's head, exploding with an incomparably terrifying might. With a whoosh, Xia Ping's spiritual energy spread out. His body had long sensed the danger. His figure flashed and he took 2 or 3 steps to the left, moving several meters. And this bullet just happened to pass by, and in an instant it exploded on the ground and immediately blasted a deep pit, more than 10 centimeters in diameter. Gravel flew everywhere, the ground shook, and dazzling sparks surged. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. This kind of sniper was too terrifying. The moment Xia Ping came out, he actually made a move to kill without holding back, extremely fierce. This was clearly to take Xia Ping's life. What? However, Xia Ping felt that the threat of death was not over yet. 5 or 6 terrifying air currents immediately appeared in the air. Another 5 or 6 sniper bullets whistled through the air. Even though Xia Ping had retreated to the square, the hidden snipers still did not let him go. They wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to blow up his head. Snake fist, wild snake dance. In the blink of an eye, Xia Ping's body seemed to have transformed into a python. It was incomparably soft, as if he had no bones. He twisted in the air, changing into an unimaginable angle. These 5 or 6 bullets just happened to brush past Xia Ping's body at this moment, and exploded on the marble floor. With a few bangs, several holes immediately appeared on the ground. The ground shook and gravel flew in all directions, creating a crashing sound. Some people were even more shocked. They watched in horror as the 5 or 6 bullets directly penetrated the ground by 2 to 3 meters. Even if a martial warrior realm expert was hit by this shot, his body would probably explode and he would die without a complete corpse. It's Lu Lai. Xia Ping raised his head and immediately sensed that on the top floor of an ordinary building in the distance, about 7 or 8 floors high, a young man was standing on the top floor. He seemed to be sneering as he looked down from the sky. His eyes were filled with malice, causing one's hair to stand on end. This young man was Lu Lai. Beside him stood 2 or 3 people in black, each holding a sniper rifle. It was obvious that these 3 people had personally attacked and wanted to kill Xia Ping. Unfortunately, they did not succeed. Damn it, I didn't actually kill him? Lu Lai's face was full of displeasure. He originally wanted to take advantage of this brat's carelessness and immediately order the snipers to shoot and kill this brat, completely eliminating any future troubles. However, he did not expect this brat's reaction to be so strong. Even when faced with a sudden attack, he could still calmly dodge the sniper's attacks. It could only be said that he was indeed a genius who could pass the nightmare-level trial. It seemed that it would not be easy to kill him just like that. How ruthless! He actually dared to make a move in the Black Moon Tower's territory. This crown prince of the Blood Hand organization is indeed lawless. Many people were secretly shocked. Even though Xia Ping had stepped half a step out of the Black Moon Tower's territory, it was still within the Black Moon Tower's territory. However, this Lu Lai actually dared to give the order to make a move on Xia Ping. One could imagine how ruthless Lu Lai was. Boom! At this moment, a mechanical voice sounded in the square. Warning: anyone who attacks in the Black Moon Tower's territory will be killed without mercy. The entire tower immediately shook. At the top of the tower, there was actually a terrifying burst of purple lightning that contained extremely terrifying energy. In an instant it fell from the sky. Bang bang bang. The speed of these purple lightning was extremely fast. With lightning speed it bombarded down towards the few snipers. At this moment there seemed to be a burning smell in the air. Young Master Lu, run! Seeing this, Lu Lai was so scared that his face turned pale. His entire body trembled. An honored martial artist of the sixth heaven beside him immediately acted. With a snap, he grabbed Lu Lai and instantly jumped from the top of the building. His speed was extremely fast, like an eagle catching a chick. With a strong airflow, he leaped down. Rumble. More than 10 purple lightning struck down. It was simply like the bombing of a missile, containing a terrifying power. The few snipers on the top floor, as well as some members of the Blood Hand organization, could not react at all. In just an instant, they were bombarded by the purple lightning. With a bang, these members of the Blood Hand organization immediately turned into a cloud of blood mist. They died without a complete corpse. Even the entire building was smashed into pieces by the purple lightning. When the purple lightning disappeared, the original 7 to 8 story tall building had already disappeared. In its place there was a terrifying deep pit. It collapsed more than 10 meters and had a diameter of more than 100 meters. It looked dark and deep, emitting a terrifying aura of destruction. This. Lu Lai and the expert in the sixth heaven of the martial artist realm, who were lucky enough to escape, were dumbfounded and had a lingering fear in their hearts. If they were a step later, they would probably follow in the footsteps of the members of the Blood Hand organization. Fortunately, they sensed the danger in time and quickly escaped, falling to the ground at the side. Otherwise, they would definitely have died. Chapter 202. Amazing! Seeing this scene, Xiaping also secretly sighed in admiration. He also knew that the Black Moon Tower was not just a training tower. It was also equipped with extraordinarily powerful weapons. Once it was used, it could slaughter a city and destroy a country. It was said that once the Black Moon Tower was fully activated, it could even kill a King Realm cultivator. Therefore, the Black Moon Tower's rules were so strict that no one dared to violate it. It was because of this tyrannical power that the Black Moon Tower's bodyguards did not need to do anything. Once the Black Moon Tower determined that someone was an enemy or broke the rules here, they would immediately attack and kill. As long as one was within the range of Black Moon City, there was no way to escape. This Lu Lai really doesn't know his place. Indeed, he thinks that he can do whatever he wants in the Black Moon Tower just because he is the young master of the Blood Hand organization. He really overestimates himself. Luckily this time it was not him who attacked, so the Black Moon Tower's attack was not aimed at him. Otherwise he would definitely be dead. Even his father would not be able to save him. He did not think that we, the underworld organizations, are all cruel and do all kinds of evil, but we do not dare to attack within the Black Moon Tower. Why is that? Does he think that he will not die just because he is lucky? He is still too young, he has not suffered much. Seeing this scene, the other underworld figures also laughed coldly. They looked at the young master of the Blood Hand organization, Lu Lai, with disdain. They thought that this guy was too arrogant and stupid. The entire Black Moon City could be so prosperous because of the existence of the Black Moon Tower. This was not only because it had a simulated martial arts space, but also because it had tyrannical combat power. Once it was used, the power it could display was simply unimaginable. This was a sci-fi weapon that surpassed the times. It could be said that the safety of the entire Black Moon City was protected by the Black Moon Tower. Its attack range covered a radius of 1,000 miles. Even if the enemy wanted to escape, they would not be able to escape. The reason why Lu Lai and the martial artist of the sixth heaven could escape was because they were not the ones who attacked with the hard object. Therefore, the Black Moon Tower did not target them and only killed the snipers. Otherwise, Lu Lai and the others would definitely die a violent death. Damn it! Lu Lai was half dead with anger. He had wanted to take this opportunity to kill the kid, but who would have thought that not only would he not be killed, he would also lose many elites of the Blood Hand organization. If this matter were to be spread back, he didn't know how his father would blame him. There was nothing more unlucky than this. It seems that staying within the Black Moon Tower sphere of influence is absolutely safe. No one would dare to make a move against me. Xiaping rubbed his chin. His eyes flickered as he looked at the fearful underworld figures around him. Whoosh! However, he did not stay where he was. Instead, he walked in the other direction of the plaza, wanting to see if there was another way out of Black Moon City. However, after circling around the Black Moon Tower, Xiaping discovered that he was completely surrounded. Regardless of whether it was the Times Square in the east, the dark alleys in the west, the skyscrapers in the south or the bars in the north, they were all guarded by the various large organizations of the Black Moon Tower. It was practically impenetrable. Once Xiaoping dared to leave the Black Moon Tower, he would immediately be surrounded and attacked by them. There was no way to escape. These underworld organizations are really going all out. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. After looking around, he discovered that there were at least 10,000 underworld figures watching him. They were so densely packed that it was equivalent to an army. It was obvious that in order to keep an eye on him and prevent him from secretly leaving the Black Moon Tower, these underworld organizations were going all out. Even if a fly tried to fly out, they would know. If a tiger doesn't show its power, they'll think I'm a sick cat. Seeing these underworld figures being so unscrupulous and treating him like a fat sheep to be slaughtered, Xiaoping felt very displeased. In reality, if he wanted to leave, it would be a piece of cake. As long as he consumed the invisibility pill, his aura and body would be completely hidden. He believed that no matter how powerful these underworld figures were, they would not be able to find him. However, he was displeased. If he just left like this, it would be equivalent to him being afraid of these underworld figures. It would be equivalent to surrendering. He could not swallow this anger. Interesting. Do you want to surround me at the Black Moon Tower and block me here? Then let's have some fun. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a cold light. After looking around, he once again returned to the interior of the Black Moon Tower. He had already decided to stay at the Black Moon Tower for the time being. In reality, the second floor of the Black Moon Tower also had rooms similar to a hotel. They provided food and lodging, but the price was extremely high. One night would cost 30,000 federal coins. This was not something that ordinary people could afford. Therefore, ordinary martial artists would not stay at the Black Moon Tower. Instead, they would find an ordinary hotel nearby to stay. But now Xiaoping could not leave the Black Moon Tower. He could only stay in this room. This Huang has gone back. It seems that he plans to temporarily stay at the Black Moon Tower. What can he do if he doesn't go back? Does he want to leave and seek death? Indeed. Right now, all the underworld forces in Black Moon City, including the Blood Hand Organization, the Black Bear Organization, the Fierce Tiger Organization, and the Poison Wolf Organization, the four most tyrannical underworld organizations in Black Moon City, have their eyes on him. They have set up an inescapable net. Once he leaves, he will immediately die without a burial place. An innocent man will get into trouble because of his wealth. Actually, as long as he hands over these treasures and seeks the protection of an underworld organization, his safety will not be a problem. Are you kidding me? These are the secret manuals of the King Realm and the 9 transformations essence-enhancing pill. Don't you know how precious these treasures are? Who would be willing to hand over these treasures? Isn't that stupid? If he doesn't hand them over, he will die. What is more important than his own life? He might not die. This Huang is still hoping for a chance. Maybe he can get a chance to live. Let's wait and see. But I still think that this Huang has no chance of winning. This is a narrow escape. Indeed, no matter how strong this kid is, he is only at the first heaven of the martial warrior realm. Those underworld organizations have as many experts as the clouds. There are a bunch of third heaven and fourth heaven martial artists. He is dead. If he doesn't surrender and beg for mercy, he will die. Seeing this, everyone discussed spiritedly. They shook their heads and sighed. They felt that this kid Huang would not have a good ending. Even if this guy was slightly rich and had a strong background in his hometown. But in Black Moon City, the so-called background was nothing. No one would care. And these people were all underworld figures. They were outlaws. Who would be afraid of your threats? Interesting. Through the surveillance camera, Gu Peng also saw this scene. A slight smile appeared on his face. Now he is surrounded in all directions. There is no gap at all. Even these underworld forces have a bunch of martial warrior realm experts. This is simply a hopeless situation. I wonder how this kid will get out of this predicament. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.